It's FaZe Clan! KDS, there it is. The trophy right behind you. You are so close to a grand final. You know what it takes to win a semi. You know what it takes to win a grand. You did that in Mexico City. That experience could pay dividends here for you and your roster.
I think yes, because Cyber and Souls already win a major in Sweden. So we had all to win this, and we are going to win this.
FaZe Clan did beat you in the regular season. Do you think that you can get them back here in a best of 3 situation?
Yeah, on best of 3, we play very more confident because we can do more things to MD1. So I think we are very prepared to this.
Is there any thought within the team about cameraman, former member of the roster, a teammate of a long time as part of FaZe Clan? He's going to be looking for revenge here.
Yeah. Revenge for Cyber and Souls, because I'm not in FaZe on that time, and I think it will be fun for them to play against each other because they are friends yet. So yeah, it'll be fun.
All right, best of luck. Go and take your seat. Give me a fist bump. Don't leave me hanging. Thank you very much. All right, let's bring out their opponents. They turned out the lights on Dark Zero yesterday, and now they are looking to prove that they belong up there in the conversations with Brazil's best. It's loose! Atlanta, you don't always get Siege royalty standing on a stage, a legend of the game. Give it up for cameraman, please. You've been part of this scene for a very long time, now rocking a Los jersey. How are you feeling ahead of this massive all-Brazilian semi-final?
It's really good to be back. I know this is my place to be, and of course we had some really good Brazilian teams, and this is just the result of a really strong region, and yeah, we have another Brazilian champion.
That's for sure, and some team here is going to make a lot of history, and we'll get to that, but FaZe Clan, a team that you're of course synonymous with, you played with that roster for a very long time. Is there any beef going into this?
No, not really. I like the guys. Really like Cyber. He's a brother to me, and now we're enemies, but tomorrow we're friends, we hang out, so yeah.
Yeah, friendships go out the window in the server, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you've been at every single SI personally. You are on the run of a lifetime. And as far as careers go, they don't get much better. Yesterday, you and your team secured your spot at the 6 Invitational in Sao Paulo. That's a massive achievement in itself, but you've got to make sure that you keep focused now on the trophy, right?
Yeah, we cannot hold back. We want this so hard, just the way that we want to be in the side. So we're gonna do our best, like always, and hopefully we lift this trophy.
All right, best of luck. I'll let you go and take your seat. It's Los versus FaZe Clan all-Brazilian semi-final to lock in that last spot in the Grands. Let's take it over now to Lynx and Stokes for this one.
There is one underdog left in Atlanta after NA's gone home, and we basically had what could have been a grand final in the semifinal earlier. Los are the final team, who have, of course, won a major before, but the final team who can continue to cause upsets. A lot of us have been sleeping on FaZe a little bit, but based on their record, Sam, they are certainly a contender for that trophy.
Oh, most definitely. When it comes down to Brazilian squads, I mean, you can name quite a few, but Los is one of those newer names to this pile, and honestly, I'm very excited about this. We've been seeing a lot of these players, Loban, Maya, pop up around the scene for quite some time, and to see them finally get their time in the proper light is truly amazing, especially when you pair it with somebody like Cameraman, which we're all such huge fans of for the history of Rainbow Six Siege and what he's brought to the table. This is definitely going to be a matchup for the history books.
And in terms of how these rosters for both FaZe and Los have developed over time, I mean, you've had players on Los who won majors with FaZe, you've had players on FaZe who won majors with Los. There are so many major champions in this lobby that, sure, the team or the org might be a two-time, but there might be players in the server who, if they go on to win the final tomorrow, they could have won 2 majors on 2 different teams. A lot of talent in this server, and as you said, Loban and Maya, all of that potential we knew they had, that they've been showing at previous events and performing very well. They have been playing insane this event. As Lax brought up on the desk, Maya and Loban neck and neck for some of the highest impact a player could feasibly have in a round at this event, and that just ignores the rest of Loban's absurd stat line.
Oh, absolutely. But you could say the same about FaZe as well. I think that they have found a very interesting siege to be had here, especially when you look across their stat lines. You look at the very top of the heap, it's going to be Vita King, one of the people that is a hard support for this team, but he has the highest ratings, some of the best KD spread as well, and he's playing things like Thermite and Smoke. I mean, across the board, this team is looking so very solid, and I really think we have a matchup on our hands here.
And that's such the beautiful thing about FaZe, right? Because whereas Los, especially early on in the tournament, you were worried that they were top-heavy, that Loban and Maya were pulling games over the line. I mean, you talk about that NIP game, 8-6, Loban and Maya were key tools to get Los that 8-6 victory. A scoreline they might not have got if they weren't putting up the performances they did in that game. But FaZe, Cyber is easily one of their best performers, and FaZe still went flawless in Swiss and made it to the semifinals with him as their worst performer. This roster is so consistent, and the talent is so deep that even when one of the best players in the world, Cyber, is having just an okay event, it's no problem for the rest of the team to pick up that slack.
Exactly, and honestly, that's the coolest thing about FaZe is you look across the board here at these players, and yeah, although Cyber might be playing slightly off to his own standards, he's still maintaining that 1.0 rating. He's still there in those big moments, where as for Los, at the beginning of this tournament, we really didn't know what was going to happen to them. Cameraman seemed like he was still trying to find the way that he wanted to plug into this roster, but the deeper that they've ran, the bigger opponents that they've found, they've came together as a squad, and now, I mean, they're looking to fully vet themselves, christen themselves, I would say, here with FaZe Clan, and truly prove that they're a Brazilian powerhouse that people must respect.
And alongside the likes of W7M, who have made it to the finals, whoever wins this game, those will be their opponents tomorrow in our grand final. They're looking to become the 2-time. They are looking amongst these 2 juggernauts of Brazil, FaZe and W7M. They are looking to be the ones that get to lift that trophy for the 2nd time. Cameraman, Maya, every one of these teams, well, except Loban, of course, but even then, Loban will get a major championship that he more than deserves, and the rest of the players on Los, if they can make this upset and perform against W7M tomorrow, they will have surely deserved the trophy based on the run they've had.
Absolutely, especially for Loban's sake, right? I mean, this guy has been truly insane, but is he going to be insane today? We have FaZe Clan versus Los, folks. It's bound to be a banger. We're going to be playing a couple of maps we haven't played a lot at this tournament. It's going to be Cafe first into Border. Those are our 2 guarantees.
Now, our social media prediction says FaZe are going to take this 62% to 38, but I think the house is feeling a lot more strong on Los. Atlanta, is that correct? Do you want Los to win? Well, we'll just have to see how they perform on Cafe for our first map. And as I said, Skyscraper, see, I defaulted to it because it's been so played, it's so in my mind as Los. I mean, how could I not? As an NA fan, that's 7-0 against Dark Zero, burned into my brain. But Cafe and Border, our 2 least played maps as the event, are the 2 ones we are guaranteed to play in this best of 3.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, folks. It's the last major of 2023, but it leads quickly into February, where we get to decide who is the champion of the realm in Rainbow Six Siege. One of these teams could be that team down the line, but we still have to crown a major champion here in Atlanta. One of these teams has a date with Destiny tomorrow, a date with W7M, the Bulls. We'll have to find out who it is now. Some interesting bands already coming through.
Interesting indeed.
Buck and Nomad going to be the bands here. I really like this Buck band especially, Carter.
I mean, the Buck band, when you normally see it on Cafe, especially a couple years ago, you immediately see a cocktail take, right? Go beneath, inside of Reading Room. Buck opened the floor beneath to put pressure on those defenders playing on Cocktail. And in a meta where frag grenades are slowly being kind of moved around or even being pushed away for updates later on in next year, Buck is a great operator on Cafe that won't be a factor anymore. Nomad as well. This map is pretty notorious for just sending air jabs on windows to stop the jump outs and stop the defense from getting aggressive. Now, not as much of a possibility. For the defense, though, you can't get any more standard than that.
No, definitely not. Zombie going to be removed as well as Valkyrie, two of the key operators to Cafe's play, especially when it comes to a Zombie and her way to use that freeform utility, build up some of these sites in a way that really isn't accomplishable by other operators. So with that being said, folks, let's jump into this very first round, shall we? It's FaZe Clan versus Los. Give us some noise!
That'll be a sound that if Los win around, we'll hear quite a bit, but if FaZe start taking this game away from them, imagine the crowd will not be too pleased. It has been a tournament of villains. I believe Nick tweeted it. Every single team the crowd has been on or been hot on, G2, Dark Zero, SSG, they've unfortunately gone home. It is the villains who are now turning to heroes in the case of Los, but they've all come to play. And for Cafe, we'll have to see how Los do, as it is their opponent's pick.
Yeah, they've been cursing a lot of people. I tried my curses yesterday on Twitter. It worked out for one map. The second one, not so much.
And it was a great map.
It was. I mean, I can tell you this, I had so much anxiety about that match yesterday. I was literally pacing around my hotel room watching the coming of end there for Los versus SSG. But now, FaZe versus Los here in FaZe Clan. Going to be having to deal with a top floor defense up against Los. Some things built upon some trap operators here. We got some Frost, we got some cap cannons, some mute jammers to hold up some walls and make it a little bit more difficult for a couple of these drones to roll through. But I like FaZe Clan's idea here, Lynx, especially working in the gridlock. We should see a lot of her when it comes to this map. It was already kind of a mainstay for gridlock before she had frag grenades, but those track stingers along with that, there's no reason to not have her in the lineup.
It's very difficult to flank on this map up through because, you just have the red stairs, the white stairs. You can lock those down with air jabs, or in this case, track stingers very effectively. But one player that could disrupt FaZe Clan strategy is Loban, the man of the hour, the star player in this lobby throughout this tournament. And against SSG yesterday, FaZe were constantly disrupted by SSG's aggressive defenses. For example, Fultz playing on Solus, hopping out of windows. Loban, I was about to say, could very well hop out a window and disrupt FaZe Clan's attacks, but he uses both of his impacts and finds his way back into mining. Instead, it's Dash from inside of Christmas to Dome Cyber on the rappel.
If you guys have been bored here at this tournament with some of the gunplay, I guarantee you it's not going to be happening here. These two teams are feisty, and they want nothing but smoke. Los giving over so many kills, practically the whole bag now, as they've lost 3 people. Dash very low after his earlier engagement with the window player inside of Christmas, and FaZe Clan resting on their laurels, making sure to use that patience. It's working for them so swimmingly.
If FaZe could just keep turning these rooms into a kill box, if they can just contain the aggression from Los, like they're doing right now, this could be a very rough game. That's why we have first rounds. That's why we get out the jitters, feel out our opponents, then make adjustments later. Right now, what Dash and Maya can do, but Dash in particular can catch the attack off guard. FaZe started leaving some gaps, and Dash is found too! A triple for the Warden now, but on very low HP. Vidaking, now the only one left on his roster, is cut down by Maya. A 2v4 to start map 1. I'm scared for what we've got for the rest of this series.
Well, you should be scared for FaZe too, because we're pulling a Corey in the first round. Ice is his teammate. KDS taking down, I believe, Vidaking there. Not something that's supposed to happen. FaZe already a train wreck here. Round 2 now on the board. FaZe probably a little shaken after that, especially with the early aggression there from Los. I really like that. Although they ended up losing quite a few bodies, obviously it ends up turning tail for them. FaZe ended up losing a round that they had every right to take.
On attack on Cafe 2, if Los have successful aggression and are able to hold map control for a decent period of time, these attacks will not be easy for FaZe if that's what Los have in store. So losing out on a round like that, where basically everything went right before that 2v4, Los tried to peek, and aside from one gunfight lost onto Cyber, everything else went FaZe Clan's way. Dropping that round could become very important depending on what happens. But again, it's the first round. If you're going to make those mistakes at any time, it should be the first round on that first pick. Nice find for Handy right there, as you can see, making that a 4v3, catching these runouts from Los before they start bringing problems for FaZe Clan's attack. That's what they need to do to win this series.
Very unfortunate shot there. Taking down his teammate at the very end of that replay, but FaZe will just use that as a little bit of a mental reset here. They had everything set up for success in that round, so better focus on the positives rather than the negatives when you carry things over to round 2.
Here we go.
Close now with a mid-floor positioning. They're going to go for a run out here, but as we know, FaZe has kept a solid dot on a lot of these run out locations, and Cameraman is going to give over himself and the Solus early on in round 2.
When it's come to the late round, FaZe left a gap in the final 45 seconds. But they've shut down those early runouts, those early aggressive plays from Los every single time, round 1 and round 2. And now Cameraman making that play, he's given up the Solus. Now they can't play, or Cameraman can't play, on that first floor to maybe stop a plant from below or play above and try to find where these players are droning. That's a key piece of utility you've now lost, and puts a lot of pressure on Maya to keep those Yokais alive for the late round to deny that plant. It is a mining and dining defense right now, so FaZe Clan will need to take vertical control, and they're already making great progress on it. Souls especially now, making this a 5v3, cutting down dots. Cyber now feels he can repel in, but Dash makes sure he knows that that was a mistake. He retakes into Christmas, trying to take a gunfight with this player in Ticket. He's got the castle barricade behind him to shield him from White Stairs, and instead it's Maya to make this a 3v3.
Maya and Dash on this top floor. They've been holding so well. Maya's going to peel back here. FaZe Clan have control over the top floor after this kill onto Dash that they were searching for so very long. Just a miscalculation there initially, as he's been patrolling around Christmas for practically this entire time, but Maya's going to reinsert, came back up White Stairs, found that pick, but he's going to get taken down too. And with a minute remaining, it's going to be a 1 versus 2 for Loban to try and figure out.
Los have already had a monstrous clutch at this point. Maybe not monstrous, but certainly lethal. Now Loban will do what he does best, wait for his moment. He'll give it away for a second. Super shorting through the floor.
Attackers recovered the bomb.
He knows FaZe Clan have to come down to this middle. He knows they have to come downstairs at some point. His best option is likely to play that retake. Wait for KDS to put that bomb down so he can take a 1v1 against Souls and then hopefully against KDS. That is his pathway to victory. Los still have intel on these top floor players. That Yokai's alive and signals the drop down for FaZe Clan. Los can work around. One player picked up, and the other for Loban. 2 1vx's in a row for Los.
The kid's a little nasty, let me tell you. Loban, definitely not a name you want to see when you hold tab and he's the last one alive that you have to try and face. The Grim Reaper does it again, and it's 2 rounds for Los.
And you can hear the crowd. We know what side they're on.
I think they're on Loban's. Having some fun here today, folks. Happy you guys are along with us. FaZe Clan versus Los so far has kind of been somewhat of a one-sided affair. FaZe Clan with tactical error initially on their first round, as they did everything right, minus the execution, where they ended up losing a body via their own hands. But this time around, Los with some serious consideration about the top floor. Yes, they lose Cameraman with that initial volley outside, but with such a solid hold, and also FaZe with a huge oversight onto Dash's positioning, it allowed not only him, but also Maya to get away with way too much upstairs.
FaZe's attacks are just so weird right now, not in their construction, but in how the pace is going. They are doing everything right in the first 45 seconds. They are shutting down the jump outs. They are getting the opening picks. They're stopping Los from getting aggressive. And then the mid-round happens. We see some great retakes from Los, and that's where FaZe start losing gunfights, but more importantly, losing a lot of drones and leaving a lot of gaps. Despite the perfect play early on, there's still plenty of room left for players like Lobin, like Maya, to take 1v1s in the late round that is then turning these rounds against FaZe. That wasn't just a 1v2, it was a 3v5 won by Los, started by the Wamai retaking Christmas. Now Maya, again, taking an aggressive position. Dash maybe contemplating a run out. These are the things FaZe have stopped so far, but will they have success with it in round 3?
A class act here for Los as they'll be holding down Bakery, and wouldn't you know it, it's going to be Monty on the other side. A tale as old as time when it comes to Cafe and this position. We'll see how it goes this time around, though, is sometimes it's high flying, sometimes it's just downright boring, as it'll be utility exchange for a while. Maybe they just give up the position, possibly slap a reinforcement up on that wall that they have pocketed, just like Los does here. FaZe is going to be working this front side of the building. Do still have some solid drones to try and consider some things, but on the second judgment here, it looks like they've actually drained quite a few of these. Yes, KDS has lost that. They're down to a drone on Cyber's person, as well as Handy having a drone outright down right now. And speaking of down, Maya's going to go down, but not out. Potential for him to try and rotate back through here, and if Dots really wants to, he can try and reinforce this to assist him as well. We'll be able to at least sweep that up, make things a little bit easier for himself. He'll pop that, and is he going to get Maya up immediately? He will indeed. Some solid damage dealt over to Vita King, but a lot of open affairs here for both of these teams.
But so much done by Los to waste FaZe's time, utility, and intel game. As you said, only 2 drones left. A lot of these plays will only be informed by intuition, and Cyber's completely walked past Dash, but he backs up, and when Solus takes the gunfight, Cyber's ready for it. Another opening pick going the way of FaZe, but it's these late rounds where Los have really come into their own. It's a slow push, a slow ISO into Bakery. The Monty's finally started moving in, and Cyber's got the key to victory. This vertical control, but Dots shuts him down. He's got the shotgun too to play close quarters. He's pinched from the wall and by the Monty. He tries to progress forward, but he's isolated in that corner, and it's only Lobin with any freedom to maneuver around this bomb site or around this map. He's still upstairs. He's got that vertical control, and he's got one. He's taking down Handy, but he can't. Oh, maybe he can shoot that Monty, in fact. He's put Vita King to 1 HP, but now he's putting the bomb down. Lobin moves to the retake down White Stairs. KDS and Souls can both train their guns in this retake. Now the Monty's full shielded. Can relay intel to the rest of FaZe Clan. As for Lobin's position, a 1v2 was excellent, but this 1v3 is looking nigh impossible, as nobody from FaZe is biting. Looks over to Bakery and Red Stairs as well, trying to find something, but just as the intel was low for FaZe, there's nothing going Lobin's way in that round.
FaZe will not fall for Los's antics this time around. That's the biggest thing there. Los try a lot of different things to be able to get one up on FaZe Clan, but they strike true with that initial entry, just like we'd seen on the 2 previous rounds, just that the round actually comes to bear for them for round 3. Very well done from them, especially the patience around Bakery to allow that utility exchange and then start pressuring with their own utility. That frag grenade making a huge play, especially being able to take down, I believe, Maya there initially, and giving Los's site setup a really hard time. They try and reconcile with that with some high-flying things on the mid-floor, try and make some rotations, try and battle back against the gridlock over on the red side, but just too much given to FaZe in that positioning, and they're allowed to exploit it fully here. Some nice shots from Cyber, especially on a dash.
I think ultimately the pace of that round came down to that gunfight on the Red Stairs, because with the low drones and with Dash overall being unknown, as Cyber had to react to that gunfight instead of knowing he was there, if Dash is able to get that kill, then just back off, that's very likely a round for Los. With the very low time, the low intel, Los could have easily won that, but Cyber winning that fight, it changed everything.
Yeah, that was all about mechanics right there. Whoever hits their flick is more than likely going to win the round for their team, because as you said, I mean, if Solus ends up getting that kill, she just runs upstairs, and now you have a demon let loose on the top floor. You have no idea what you can really do. You can't play verticality the same way, because Solus can just try and give you some problems with the later flank. There's a lot of things that could have been presented to FaZe Clan if that ended up going awry. But this is the world we live in now. FaZe Clan 1 round on offense so far, and probably could have had another one under their belt with that first round, but beggars can't be choosers. Into round 4 we go, trying to see if they could potentially line things up here with Los and tie him down.
I know Jesse was curious how many looks Los could give FaZe, or new looks that is, as they were bringing out strat after strat against Dark Zero, never letting them adapt or get a feel for their opponents. You want to see some adjustments made, not necessarily strategically, but individually, denying FaZe that early pick, which they've reliably achieved, and more importantly, not putting your star players like Loben or Maya in a position where they need to clutch a 1vx or a 2vx. We'd like to see some adjustments. The utility game, even though they lost, the utility game last round from Los was excellent to stall FaZe's time, and they've set up something similar on this top floor. The mirror windows, the ADSs, the Aruni gates, plenty of utility to keep FaZe at bay for the first half of the round.
Slow rolling so far, Los with no initial look like we had been seeing in those first 3 rounds, but honestly they weren't going that well, so you'd much rather rest on FaZe's timing as they have been playing things at a pretty slow pace. Just let that clock start to eat at them, and that's exactly what they've done here. Dots gonna be forced to move with that EE1D active, so he will be spotted for just a time, but not long enough for him to actually be punished. Just a quick back and forth there on the cocktail windows. Soul's also going to lose his Twitch drone. FaZe trying their damnedest to process this top floor right now, Carter, but there's not really much to be had. The firebolts will go out. Is Vita King gonna fly in? Frag grenade out too. He's still stuck up top. We're just waiting for that call. It's gonna be Maya that takes down Katie. Yes, we still have Cyber down low as well, but no frag grenades nowadays on that Yana. Soul's with a big moment here finally, as he'll take down Maya.
Mana count even, Soul slowly pushing up, but 1 HP on this lurk into the bomb site. He's easily felled if anybody from Los gets beat on his position. KDS also falling on that cigar window, has forced a rotation out from FaZe to delay this execute by another 15 seconds. Now Vita King hits the drop. He's got Souls behind him for coverage and is weaving his way onto Cocktail, but he's shut down by Dots. Unread on the Cocktail balcony. Dash for one more, Dots for a third. Los with their most dominant round so far.
As all of our mothers have probably told us, patience is a virtue. And right here it is indeed for Los, as they don't give a single look to FaZe. They just rest on the strategy. They force them to try and take things, force them to try and find these gaps in the defense. But with the way that things are being played out with Los on that top floor, there really isn't any at all. They try and flame some things off and try and use some frag grenades to soften up the defense, but the angles are way too harsh, especially with Dot's positioning there. That is something that cannot go unchecked. You have not only the Heaven balcony player rotating in, but also the man with your case hopping in Skylight, and not a single person knows that he's in Cocktail. That cannot happen.
And another thing that represents the change for Los of playing that more conservative defense, playing a bit closer on the bomb side, is Cameraman. Because I don't know where the hell he was playing. I literally don't know. But you know where I know he wasn't playing? Outside the building in the first 45 seconds, which resulted in the opening pick the first 2 rounds. So Cameraman playing more conservatively, and the rest of the defense also holding the bomb site. It's an overall shift in the play from Los that really cost FaZe a lot of time and a lot of ground in that round. And just as we saw a 2v4 to 1v2 off the back of poor intel from FaZe, this time it wasn't even a 1vx. It was just a 4v4, and Dot sitting in a corner. He's got a huge 3-piece to win that round. Just as I say that, just as I talk about more consolidated play on the bomb site, Dots has worked his way down White Stairs. The barricade is not prepped, but he does hear it. At least gaining intel for Los, and likely we'll see some play here later on in the round, especially with that Yokai.
Has the Yokai here to check it for him, Carter. But I don't think they're going to go for it just yet. It's going to be kind of a hard moment there for Dots if he does want to go for it, because with Fenrir, he doesn't have any impacts or anything, so it's either punch the door or shoot the door. Both of those very loud and aren't going to give you the ability to obviously push out immediately without a lot of noise. So we usually see impact plays coming from that door frame there, but instead, he's just going to try and peel it back a bit. Doesn't want to try and overplay his hand, and why would you? I mean, Los' strategy has been working so well up against FaZe Clan. You might as well just let them try and process this map, as they've been taking quite some time in these opening 2 minutes.
They have putting those crack stingers in a position, using this Clutch drone in this particular case to take down prox alarms, deny intel for Los to know when they're pushing. And Loben doesn't really care about that, though, sitting in the corner. They don't even know. Oh, but he misses the engagement. The Brava just ducks away. It's Dash that's more successful. Cyber having a rough time in this game so far. 1-5 at this point in the opening pick for Los. But another key entry for FaZe Clan dismantled in the early round, as they still have yet to find a solid way into Cafe.
It's so difficult for Cyber this game, as it seems like The entire world is collapsing on him. Vita King and the rest of the gang now starting to work their way in top red, but it's going to be Dots to strike next. Finally, Souls will get something for FaZe, but Los, they're just too damn strong. Constantly battling back against FaZe Clan and keeping this man advantage fully within their right. Mile fall off. Vita King right on the tailcoats, but can't be able to pick it up there.
There is Dots again, though, unread inside a bathroom, waiting for someone to rotate, but a nice heads-up play by Handy. Anticipates it, hits the pre-fire, and Dots cut down. There's still so much intel for Los in this execute. The Yokais still stationed around that middle floor to find any attackers once they drop down to the middle. Vita King on the other side, Handy will have to join him to make sure that if he puts this bomb down, he's got somebody to cover. He's made his way into mining, there's somebody down below. Vita King has to react, a Soulless beneath the plant position. You either have to kill or a plant on a hard surface, and Vita King's chosen the latter. He can relay this position, but he falls off again and gets a kill onto Lobin. FaZe Clan now fighting back in this round, but Maya hitting the flank. He's fallen off the Yokai, but Handy's watching Pillar. Should have an angle on this. Yes, he does, but he falls off. Vita King able to get the plant with cameraman down. Nice headshot. 1v1. Nice 1v2, Maya. What is that? 3 clutches now for Los? And on 1 HP as well? I would not want to be Los's opponent in this game.
I wouldn't want to be Maya's opponent. Guy's walking around with the biggest cleaver I've ever seen in my life, just decapitating people left and right. And once again, when I talk sliver, folks, I mean it. This guy is on death's doorstep. Single HP to his name, still more than willing to take that gunfight with Habana, and wins the round for Los yet again. It's 4 defensive rounds here, and yes, it is Cafe. This is something that you expect, but not in this fashion.
Not in this fashion at all. FaZe have not at all been looking good in these late rounds. Now, to be fair, it's from some huge performances from players on Los. I mean, in that case, Handy had the right idea. He knew someone might flank Pillar. He just lost the initial gunfight, and that ended up costing him. That's just going to happen sometimes. You're going to miss a fight, you're going to whiff a shot, it is what it is. But it's the other 1vXs, the earlier ones that got Los this 4-1, those are the ones where FaZe had poor intel, where they didn't have enough information for where these players were playing. And so when you have a hero play like this, when you have Maya popping off, you can't account for those. But the rounds you can't account for, the ones that slipped away, that's what's punishing FaZe right now. And Los in a very good shot to move up 5-1, but they're going to the bottom floor, which is the one site. FaZe have won at this point.
Yes, indeed. It's now or never for FaZe. A 5-1 half for Los is more than anything they could really ask for. Is been looking so solid throughout this game so far. Their offense is probably going to look very similar. Lobin! Cyber, you gotta give him some respect! Lobin's on top of it. FaZe Clan, battered, bruised. Have no idea how to try and fight this maniac that is Los right now.
And this is FaZe's pick too. You'd think they'd be comfortable. You'd think they'd feel so secure in clearing out these roamers. But Los with not many footage on this map, not knowing how they play.
Oh.
FaZe are struggling. Cameraman lining up a C4, but KDS pulls back. Not that close enough in the blast radius. Lobin also dodging that grenade. This is where he thrives. In those positions nobody expects, when he can just rely on the intel given by his team and his own gun skill to win rounds for Los. They've already done the damage though, with Cyber cut down. A key player again dismantled, having a rough game so far, but it just keeps adding onto the pile of factors that are stalling FaZe's attack. The Vulcan packs on this top floor, the castle barricades, the magnets. Los have been bringing so much utility, and then on top of that, they're reliably getting these opening picks and aggressively contesting FaZe's attempt at acquiring map control.
And it's forcing them onto such poor timing, Carter. There's really no way for them to fight back right now, because when they start adopting these windows in, there's really nobody home to try and assist them on the other end. FaZe Clan constantly going back to the info well and seeing if there's something new that they can add to the pile, but as for FaZe, they really need an opening kill here. It might be gifted over from Souls, and it will. Some shots back to him. He's about 50% HP, but Los, they've done the dirty deeds, and they've gotten away with it. Lobin's worked his way back downstairs. Yeah, FaZe, you finally have top floor control, but there's only 45 seconds remaining.
And there's barely any soft destruction either. You don't have the sledge. You obviously don't have the buck as Los abandoned it. No secondary breaching charges for FaZe either. Guess we're opening up with DMRs, I guess. Might just be sending it down stairwells and into pillar, but Los have the exact execute they want. They put FaZe in the exact position they needed. They can waste 20 whole seconds with these Vulcan packs on reading door because right as Viking hops down, that's where he wanted to plant. Dash simply wraps around at pillar. It's all going according to plan. FaZe are walking into a trap set by Los, and there's no one there to dismantle it. Dash still in pillar, can backstab, but instead it's Viking to hit the rotate. Dash still gets the kill anyway. It's all futile for FaZe Clan as Los get a 5-1 half on their opponent's pick.
They get that kill on Maya on the top floor, but I'd call it a flawless round by my standards. Los, every step of the way, gatekeeping FaZe from every portion of the map, locking them out of that top floor till the very last minute. No vertical control, no ability to get into the site, and honestly, no clue as to what the site even looks like. They jump downstairs, they punch that wooden barrier, and the Goyo canister that's on it immediately explodes, and that was at 28 seconds, guys. That means you only have 8 seconds left when that fire clears. And that allows Los to continue to work things, especially for our castle over inside of mining. Some nice rotations into dark. He finds the lion, and Los, well, they find 5 rounds. And man, do you have to be happy for that man to the right of Maya, cameraman, as he has been calling the ball so very well so far here on Cafe.
That's ultimately been one of the strongest points for Los throughout this entire stage. It took a long time. Is that dude wearing the same outfit as me?
Wait, is that a red tie? Hold on, we might need a camera on that guy later. We'll get production on it, don't worry.
Camera guy, give me that presidential candidate. Where was he?
Oh man, we might need you guys next year. Oh man, well, it's gonna be a tech timeout here, folks, and it's halftime as well, so we're gonna be switching sides too. So not the biggest, degradation.
There he is. What color tie is that? Someone tell me.
That's blue. That's a blue tie.
All right, whatever.
Hey, he's looking cleanly though.
He is looking clean.
I mean, but he's got that thing on though.
Listen, man, I had to pull out the debate clothes for this one. It's my comfort.
Hey, I tell you what, if we're at SI, I'll make sure you're drippy. It's okay.
I think it's best if I only own 2 suits. I think it would ruin my charm.
Oh yeah? Lose that a little bit? Oh.
Whoa. Hey, time out. That's a foul right there. That's uncalled for.
That's a little personal.
No need. One of the best players in the world we're talking about.
I mean, it's true, but you didn't have to say it.
It's fine. FaZe might be down 1-5, but listen, this is their map pick, right?
It is.
Move into the defense now. Get caught off guard by Lobin.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. When it comes to Cafe, defense, yeah, all well and good, but we judge you based off your offenses. And FaZe's offenses, well, they were looking kind of trash.
Yeah! Let's go. That's my guy right there.
Biased NA caster, huh?
I mean, they're not playing anymore. I could be biased. Hello?
It's okay. I've been known to root for SSG in my day as well. It's all right. But in between these two teams, FaZe and Los right now, Los definitely looking to take the whole cake. FaZe isn't even getting a slice. They got that one round, but I mean, that one round was Los just really not able to win out in that key moment, right? It's the intangible sometimes, and that flick just not in the belt of the Solus, that moment on red. But past that, it's been Los all the time. Even in those earlier rounds where FaZe was getting key entries, wasn't really able to produce anything off of that. That first round of all of them, really a hallmark for me as to how the rest of that half was going to go.
It is important to note, of course, on that point that this could be a 3-3 half, even a 4-2 half for FaZe, given those huge clutches. But with how consistently they happened and most of them being enabled by problems in FaZe, it's not like they ended up fixing those problems necessarily. It's not like they ended up making the... Cheering for ghosts.
Cheering for ghosts. Yeah, they're in space right now. They can't even hear you. It's a vacuum out there.
True.
Sound doesn't travel in space, guys.
I hear that. I'm not a scientist, but I've heard that before. But also, anyways, we were talking about, as we are, by the way, getting back in the game.
I'm no dentist, but the server's back up.
True. getting back into it. It's 5-1 half for Los, by the way. But as I was about to say, there's also been a continuing and worrying trend for FaZe moving into the playoffs because they were going into the main stage the best attacking team at the tournament. And yesterday, as Lax said, it was their defenses that carried their way through it. And right now on their map pick, guys, I don't know if you can read, but FaZe only had one attack that half. And that's not something you want on your own pick for what was the best attacking team at the tournament.
Most definitely. They're going to have to rest on their defenses here on Cafe, but as we've touched on, this is a very defensive-oriented map. It's all up to your offenses that really set the tone for if you take this or not. And for FaZe, well, that ship has already sailed. They have a very long road ahead of them, but they're more than capable of doing it. This top floor defense is looking pretty solid. Obviously, when it comes to this site, you're really worried about some window play and that kind of take over from the Christmas side. They have a lot of different things implemented here to try and assist with this. I especially like Souls on the Aruni here. Laser Gate's very annoying to deal with. And also, if you don't do things in good timing, Carter, they can also get reset and become an even bigger issue down the line.
They always seem to get reset at the exact worst moment. If you let somebody play behind that Aruni gate, but you clear it, right as you're about to push in, right as you're about to take that bit of map control, they just go, no. Suddenly there's a de facto barricade in your way, and there's not much you can do. We'll see how Los decide to do it. Loban has to recover that one. Oh no, he actually did make it over. I thought he bounced it off the ledge, but he does make it in. This will be the first attack we see from Los as they will attack that top floor bomb site. We saw how difficult it was for FaZe to progress into that Christmas position or move at all really along that top floor, partially because of great aggression from Loban early on, but towards the end, just a solid defensive strategy from Los. Now FaZe Clan, we don't see a mirror on the board, but this is certainly a setup with the Mozzie and the Mute that allows you to get flexible, that allows you to push for aggression because of how much intel denial is theoretically available for the defense.
Well, no EMPs here, so we're going to have to get Gridlock over on the windows. He's going to gritty his way on over there and get rid of this Mute jammer, allow them to open up that wall. KDS, more of an open floor plan when it comes to the freezer here. And the deployable shield as well. This is something that we've done for quite some time. It really depends on the team. If you want to get more aggressive, this is a really solid setup. But the key thing is here, folks, is that no ADSs for him. He's going to have maybe a couple of my discs around, but it really depends on where Cyber ended up putting those. So it could be problematic down the line. But fortunately enough for him, no more frag grenades, as Dash has allocated those elsewhere to try and clear some things up for Los.
Track Stingers out!
Track Stingers go out in the same position. We saw FaZe put them quite a bit on the attack just to stop the rotation up Whitehall or up White Stairs. Dot seeing behind that shield, but there's nobody behind it anymore. KDS has relocated onto the Palace position, or into Deep Freeze, actually. So by that shield, but certainly not behind it. Just slowly pulling this back, slowly retreating into the safety of the bomb site. Lion out, cut down. Dot's looking to push in. Beams KDS. Loban finds another opportunity. Instead, it's the Hibana with all the action in round 7, as it's a triple for Dots as he cuts his way through the cocktail balcony. King down below, though, ends his reign of terror. Diffuser now dropped on the floor. He has to win this fight to make his way back up. Cameraman watching. Cameraman loses it. Doesn't win the initial engagement, but gets him on the retake. Handy now with attempt number 2. Will have to be in the post plan as well. Dash has now placed that diffuser on the floor. Flashbang blinds Handy, so his gunfight will be a few seconds later. He knows Cameraman's here, but the Dokkaebi anticipates it, waiting for him to peek! 2-piece for Cameraman, 6-1 now for Los. Their first attack, no problem at all.
There's nothing worse, I'm telling you, than fighting a man on the Spider-Man rappel, upside down, trying to fend him off, especially with the angle you have to try and take up. That's why you saw Handy go for that prone angle instead. If he tries to fight that windowsill, there's a good chance that the top of that window just completely blocks the body of Cameraman for him. So well struck from Cameraman there, especially playing off of the partially broken barricade. That's just so big brain.
This has been a worrying start for FaZe, one of the quiet favorites of the tournament.
What do you get excited about for FaZe right now?
Yeah,
Carter?
I mean, there's nothing really. I mean, to be fair, the one round they won was good. It's not like it was a fluke. Sure, one gunfight might have changed the pace of it, but Cyber won that fight. And then they won it pretty dominantly after that. But beyond that, Los's late round, they have enough individual talent to make it work, and in this case, for the early execute, have enough individual talent just to win 3 1v1s gifted to Dots as he moves into Freezer. Lowe's have just relied on their fundamentals, not necessarily of the game, but as a team. They have some incredibly talented players. They know how to spot gaps, and so even if the round takes a long time, as before Dots is pushing to Freezer, Lowe's really didn't have that much. They say, all right, we got to make a play, we got to do something, but we know we're good enough to win these fights, and that might just be enough. And in this case, it's put Los on match point. They just need one more to take FaZe's pick at one of the most dominant score lines possible.
Yeah, FaZe, one of the most dominant attacking teams at this entire event, but I mean, as of right now, Los looking like one of the best gunfight teams in the world. And that's pretty crazy to say, especially with teams like G2 here as well as W7M. It really feels like Los might be a team to finally give W7M a little bit of a test down the line, but we have to get there first. As it at least stands right now, Los looking pretty about this. Cyberzera is going to get droned out just a tad bit as he patches up that front door, but we already have some presence on this mid floor from Maya. He's going to be the only one in the building for Los right now, as we'll be working things across. As we all know, the mid floor very, very important for the setup when it comes to the kitchen defense. You want that verticality in your hands as an offender, open up that flooring, and start making it difficult for the defenders to try and play around things like bunker. This is all going to be up to Dash with that sledgehammer. They haven't even got Dots inside yet, folks. This man has been doing so much droning. He's still in spawn.
It's not the early round Monty play we saw from FaZe where they just sit King on the bakery door to watch the guy behind the bar. No, Dots is like, all right, I've got the diffuser. My Monty's meant for the late round. That's fine. I'll drone people out. I'll get control of the middle floor, which they have. And they got here with over half the round to go. It might be sub-minute 30 now, but Dash is opening things up at excellent pace at this point. And now they might be tied on time if they try to move down white stairs. But if Los are just efficient with what time they have remaining, this is very winnable.
And this is honestly starting to build up to be a Freezer take. They're not even looking towards Bakery, and this can work really, really well, especially with Dots here. They don't even have, well, they do have one Nitro cell, and as well as handy on top of that with the Yokais to try and give Dats a hard time. But the key thing is that Monty becomes such a focal point for the defense to try and deal with in a situation like this. If Los is able to use that as a distracting measure on top of a call from cameraman or something like that, this could become a huge issue for them as this collapse comes in. But it's going to be KDS to start us off, and KDS to potentially finish this as well as the Monty goes down. What a pre-fire from Loban, though. He'll take down Handy, but it's practically all said and done. All to the VIP player. KDS will shut up Lowe's as they try and take control of the back end of the basement floor.
I gotta say, when we cut to the Monty, that's not where I thought he would be. And as we find Loban, he's exactly where King is. Downs him, but smoke canister choking off his entry into the main lobby. Oh, okay, does find another. No, he's just padding his stats. Everyone calm down. I know Loban's great. He's got his exits, but it's not the round for him. But, again, when I see the Monty and I see they're going for a freezer take, I'm like, all right, they probably don't have enough time to take white stairs. We'll see him maybe drop down the freezer hatch and then make his way into freezer. I did not expect to see him unshielded, actively trying to melee KDS behind the shield. I suppose, you know, to each their own.
Yeah, I guess. You know, when I saw that lining up, I'll be completely real with you. I thought that we were, especially with the verticality that we were looking into, going to be going for something like a bunker plant or something like a plant right behind the bomb chassis, right outside the freezer door, right? But that's not what we got at all. Monty either flies down white or drops down the hatch and hops through the freezer rotate to try and assist with that VIP player, but clearly not the right idea, as KDS had some other things in mind, and it just so happened to be a triple kill in that last round. But what else are you going to do when your back's against the wall in a scenario like this? Let's see it right here. Great mindset from KDS. When it comes to Monty and that pressure is pushing on top of you, you never want to worry about Monty until the shield slide. Just let him rock. They know you're there. Worry about everybody else around him. Try and take those gunfights, because I guarantee you'll even surprise professional players.
Great heads-up play from KDS there. 3K in that round for him. Huge reasons to why FaZe Clan get only their second round so far in this game. But we saw 6-1 comebacks yesterday. Unfortunately, to the many of you in the crowd, it was non-SSG who ended up winning that series. But I'm sorry. My bad.
Boo, Carter, boo.
Shut up. Why are you booing me? I didn't do it. You think I beat him?
It's all Lynx's fault, folks. At Casting Lynx on Twitter, tell him about it.
I mean, you should.
You should.
Listen, you can follow if you want.
No. Follow his TikTok, though. That's you make good content over there.
Are you?
You're probably going to make some good content about this game and the fact that FaZe really hasn't been able to figure it out, minus some key moments where some players pick up some big frags.
Now, outside of that KDS round, and obviously the Monty take that we saw in round 1, it's very much been a dominant Los game, but they at least got there first, and that's where everything can start. It's middle floor defense now, and Los have done a pretty good job at moving into the map, where FaZe's big problem was they'd get kills from aggressive Los players in their attacks, but didn't move into the building until quite late in the round. Los moved into the map on that first attack very, very quickly, and now seem to be repeating that again, as Dots has made his way onto red stairs, and Lobin and Cameraman are already setting up on the cocktail side to cut off anybody from FaZe's defense who tries to move down to that bottom floor. Cameraman even has the Grim as well, which can make anybody playing there uncomfortable. But you know what's equally uncomfortable? A C4 from below that Low simply had no counter for.
You always got to worry about that when you're rolling through Ticket too, right? Especially when there's presence on that mid floor like a reading dining defense. There's always some potential for that rotate to go awry, and that's what's exactly going to happen to Dots. Although they don't give over many bodies, this is definitely manageable, especially after they take down KDS, the big player from the previous round. Logan works his way in. Nobody in deep freeze, but a dead smoke. There's going to be one in bathroom, though. CyberZero will be able to trade that out, luckily enough for them. A minute remains now in this 3 versus 3. Dash does have some presence over here on this side, but this frag, they might get Cyber. He has to abandon ship, but Maya with some beautiful shots. They know Souls is on this top floor, too. How is Souls going to be able to play this out from heaven?
Handy certainly can. Oh, he doesn't see him because of the scope, but Dash doesn't either. He switches to the pistol, and Dash gives him a freebie to win. But Maya's still kicking with the diffuser as well. That's put a Handy in what was effectively a 1v3, but now a 1v2. But we're in a similar situation to Lobin's. Back in round 2 with one player who has to plant and the other the only gun for Handy to worry about. He's crept into pillar, and Cameraman shuts him down. A drive-by pick in pillar gives Los a 7-2 victory on their opponent's pick.
And Cafe, a monument to Los's opulence in this matchup so far, as they have looked fantastic, even in the moments where it seems unwinnable for them, more than willing to go for the clutch. Such a solid game from them so far. Border up next, and not only that, but it's Los's pick.
And if I am FaZe and I've just lost my map pick and the place I gotta go is one of the most gunfight-heavy maps in the entirety of Rainbow Six, I'm quaking in my boots. Do you think KDS or Cyber want to fight Lobin and Maya on Border? This might just be one of the roughest maps we've seen this tournament. But then again, of course, you gotta be careful with predictions. But I'm just saying, with what Los's playstyle's been, Border might just be the best map they've had so far.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm just going to say this, better them than me, because I would not want to deal with Los at all. Let's see if the desk wants to give us a breakdown on what we just saw in Cafe.
Thanks, Sam. Thanks, Carter. I think a lot of people walked in this building immediately assuming a G2 and FaZe Clan Grand Final was on the cards, but now we're one map away from it being W7M and Los instead. How are we feeling about Los getting the dub there, Atlanta? And I think that reaction also probably surprises a lot of the players too, because again, 8th place in the regular stage, they come in here and now they're so close to a grand final.
No, I mean, Los is putting up one hell of a performance from through this entire thing, but specifically yesterday and now today, shutting out FaZe on their map pick, closing out on a 7-1. I mean, we were talking about FaZe, looking like the best attacking team. Again, FaZe is not attacking up to where we've been putting them or where they were performing as of, what, the other day?
Yeah. And Los, they really learned from Space Station when they went for those attacks against FaZe Clan. They kept things chaotic. They kept things crazy. I think FaZe Clan were really worried about aggression in that early round. And Los, they didn't not have it. They were taking some fights in those early rounds, but generally FaZe, with their really patient play, were able to shut a lot of that early aggression down. The problem came when they didn't have that intel in the late round. The problem came when they couldn't find those yokais in the late round. And time after time after time, Los were put into really favorable but man disadvantaged situations, and they pulled out the clutches. They always had the intel advantage late. They always had the time advantage late. And when FaZe went for those executes, there was always something that they just weren't accounting for.
And I think that's what goes into Los' playstyle specifically that is matching up so well against FaZe, is the fact that they are playing that aggressive playstyle, they are getting that initial pick, but they're immediately falling off and then playing the mid to late rounds almost perfectly.
I think you really, obviously we're going to highlight these players on Los that are fragging, right? Dash did really well. We saw Loban do really well. Doff popped off. But I think Maya, not only did he go 9 and 6, but also was contributing so much on that intel game that enabled so many of those late plays. He was the one rocking that echo that gave them so much information to allow them to go for clutch after clutch to really put up those numbers in the late round to win when it really mattered. So you got to give Maya credit.
Well, I called them the duo, and you saw that echo drone still up there after Maya already got a 3K, and it set Loban up for that 2K to close out that, what, third round?
Mm-hmm.
The team play was great, but it's the clutches we should highlight because that had everybody in this building shaking. And I mean, stomping on the ground, cheering, everything about those clutches was great, dude.
Yeah, and not to mention Dash's rap plays. So often he was being misdroned, and I want to showcase both rounds 1 and 6. Keep in mind, keep note of how they have no idea where Dash is. Nobody's even looking at him. Multiple times throughout this game, even when he gets the opening pick, they assume he falls back. Then round number 6, again, they're not ready for him to be down here below the new balcony, and they completely miss where he's going to end up being. This throws a wrench into the push of FaZe every single time. And whilst FaZe, they make this plan, they are ready to execute it. As soon as they begin that execution, somebody's there, and it typically was Dash disrupting things and making it so difficult for that push to actually go off correctly.
And it makes you question in terms of the adaptability that Los is implementing into this game, that whether FaZe knew what they were doing or not from previous, regional stuff, that they did switch it up here, which is why they didn't drone Dash, because they figured he was on the opposite side of the map. And that's why I've talked about so many times, when you just switch one person's their spot, their rotation, throwing in a different operator, it can really throw off a team and what they're initially trying to set up and how they're trying to push through the map.
Well, we all know Cafe sometimes can be devilish to both attack and defend, and it looked like Los just had FaZe's number the whole way. Cameraman saw his old team on the other side of the stage and said he was seeing red, but not the red on FaZe's jerseys, the red in the back of his eyes, saying this is the time that we can finally put this team to rest and go to a grand final.
Well, I'll say this. We were wondering if they, used all their gas, blew everything on that DZ game, but no. I mean, they shut me up. They are 100% here to win this tournament, to make a statement.
Yeah, and it wasn't even that they just were playing like these ridiculous strategies. I don't think that they had prepped a ton of big castle mirror strats that we saw yesterday. A lot of it was just those individual moments, getting aggro in the mid round, making sure you can win out late from good positioning. I really did like that style of play coming through from Los. It turned out big time for them.
All right, well, let's see if this ultimate Brazilian underdog story can actually go all the way to a grand final, or if FaZe have some fight in them. It's Border up next. Don't go anywhere.
Hello guys, my name is Alemão and I play for G2 Esports and I'm so ready to play Seed Sounds.
How I know the game? Perfectly, I'm professional guys. We are not here to have fun, it's just the job.
Do you think you're going to beat the other teams?
Probably not.
How well do you know the maps?
I mean, I don't think I know them perfectly, to be honest. I mean,
if I hear something about maps, every maps, all the game, it's easy for me, like this.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
I was born ready.
Yeah. Let me vibes on it. I need to feel the sounds.
So I want to say it's bank.
It's border. In the sky, it's a helicopter, easy.
And I think it's helicopters in border. Oh.
What? Tank? You're kidding me.
There! It's border.
I want to say it's border.
Must be border again. It's border again. Can't fool me. Knew it.
Because of the sound I hear, I think it's like, could be Chalet.
It's fucking Jason, the guy with the... He's not Siege.
If I had to go with a map, I'd probably say Oregon.
Theme Park.
Oh, Team Perk is not on the... No, Team Perk is out! Ah, man. Where is this? Café, spawn café. On the police cars. Must be.
I'm taking its consulate.
Maybe Clubhouse. I think it's Oregon outside lobby door. I changed my answer. Yeah, I cheated.
Clubhouse. I see. I forgot about Clubhouse. That's another map.
Must be Oregon. Must be Oregon outside main door. For sure. Could be Consulate, but I'm not sure.
See, I want to say consulate again. I mean, I don't think it's front door spawn, but it's consulate.
Okay, but you've got 1 out of 5. How are you feeling?
It's not bad, 1 of 5. Could be 0, right? You have to think. You have to see the glass half full, not half empty.
Half full with 1 out of 5?
Kind of like 20% full.
Thanks for watching. See you at the major. Support Wolves because we are the best. And if you don't, we don't like you very much. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Cizin and I play for Sonics, and today I'm going to be playing Drone in the Unknown.
Oi, sou o JV92AW7M e hoje eu vou descobrir os drones aí que...
Hi guys, this is Boys from Team M80 and today I'm playing Drone in the Unknown.
どうも、スカーズ所属のピョンです。Drone in the Unknown.
My map knowledge, pretty good I'd say. I've been playing this game since I was like 11.
Eu acho que meu conhecimento de mapa é bom. Eu sempre posiciono uns dronezinhos aí pra galera matar. Isso aí é fora do mapa do arranha-céu lá, Skyscraper.
That is Dragon on the map Skyscraper.
The architect is giving it away that it's Skyscraper.
高層ビルだと思います。
I can just tell because of the kind of sculpture.
Eu acho que você está todos, né? Tá fácil. Isso aí é mole.
Wait, what?
うわ、むずい。見たことないけどなんか見たことある。
I see a book. I'm pretty sure it's cafe.
Isso aí é no café lá, pô. Isso aí, esse livrinho aí, ó. É no café.
Café.
Yeah, this is Skyscraper for sure.
I say we're pretty good at cafe, yes, I know that map.
Yeah, okay, nah, got that one wrong.
I see some anime books. I don't know what anime that is though.
I want to say Skyscraper because I see like kind of the pattern on the wall.
背景。壁の。
Do lado da suíte lá, do Sky.
Skyscraper.
That's Skyscraper.
5 de 5 é muito fácil, cara. Isso aí, ó. Dá pra ver tudo, pô.
待って、どこだ?
Yeah, I'll just go chalet. I have no idea.
It's so easy. Yeah, fronteira, border. No... Arquivos?
Border.
This is, I think, border. I think it's in tellers.
もう分かったのは、上の。
The same thing here. I recognize the pattern in the ceiling.
Essa é difícil, pô.
The radio, I could tell just because of the knives and the stuff in the background, so quite an easy one.
They both have radios in the map, so it's Nighthaven or Consulate.
Vou chutar chalé.
Basement on Clubhouse.
Nighthaven Lab.
Yeah, I'm gonna just say Consulate Garage.
Wow, okay. I was completely wrong. I just got done playing Drone in Unknown.
Had a lot of fun playing today.
全問正解。私だけでした。
And yeah, see you guys at the major.
Torce pra W7M aqui, ó. Ó, vamos em busca do bicampeonato.
10 months ago in Copenhagen, they made it all the way to the semifinals just to lose in 2 straight maps. Here in Atlanta, they find themselves all the way in the semifinals, and they've already dropped map number 1. So there's a pretty bad sense for FaZe Clan in this game of Deja Vu, Jesse.
Indeed it is, Jacob. And in fact, back in Copenhagen, they played map number 2 after getting blown out map number 1 on Border.
Oh, no.
They have not played Border since. They got blown out against Team Liquid in the semifinals. They went home 3rd, 4th in the last major. They have not played it again since this match right here coming up. Border it will be them versus Lowe's. If they lose it again in the semifinals, they will again be going home.
Listen, I don't want to ride on FaZe, okay? Like, they aren't done here. We saw it yesterday, you know, that huge comeback from SSG. They did use that time to take away, break it down. They were just smiling over there, looking over this map. So you can only assume that they got things prepped and ready for this, but it needs to be better than what it was in Chalet. I mean, not Chalet, Cafe. Because if they can't bring that and they can't surprise what Los is bringing, it's not going to look too great, but I am confident that they have the resilience to bring this back.
The guys on FaZe Clan have been here before. A lot of them have won a major. This is still the majority of that team, I think, that won the Sweden major way back when. The guys on Lowe's haven't been in this position before. They've never been up this high. When Team 1 won back in Mexico, it wasn't with any person that's currently playing on this roster, but Cameraman has actually won something. What do you think those guys are feeling right now? And Lax, what do you do as a pro to make sure that you don't just completely crumble even though you're up by 1 map right now?
You just got to focus every round by round. You don't care that you won the first game. You don't care that you won even the next round. You just got to stay focused. You got to keep everyone focused on the main goal, and that's to see it all the way to the end.
Los already 7-0'd one team after getting a great momentum map 1. They could do it again here, Jacob.
Oh, you think? Oh no, we don't need to relive. We don't need to.
So are you
reliving that Dark Zero moment?
I'm absolutely picking Los, Lax.
I'm gonna go with Los. Even though I gave FaZe the credit that they do deserve.
Yeah.
They 100% deserve it. But I am gonna have to go with Los.
All right, you picked the Los.
Los.
All right. Do we see 2-0 in Los's future right now? Is that it? I need y'all to wake up a little bit more. Is Los going to the grand final or what? And do we still have any FaZe Clan fans in the house?
Not really.
What on earth has happened to FaZe to get this many boos, man?
To be fair, Los are the underdogs realistically here. So for an underdog story and the story that they have, they 100% deserve to have the crowd behind them.
All right, well, crowd's already made their decision. Let's find out if we're going to map 3 or if Los close it out in 2. It's Sam and Carter with the call.
Jacob, I've got an answer for you, actually, because you asked what happened for FaZe to get to this point. I'll tell you what happened.
What happened?
Map 1 happened. Map 1 of Los demolishing FaZe on their pick. That is what happened. Everyone wants to root for the underdog, right? And we've done that plenty of times throughout this tournament. But for Los to demolish FaZe in that manner, how can you not win over the crowd at that point?
It's true, it's true. How are you guys feeling about Los right now? It's pretty crazy, and it's hilarious because I was actually just about to refer to your sign, my friend. That fraud sign, that's very well made. I see all the snaps out here too, folks. You guys are absolutely hilarious. Thank you guys for keeping the house alive and well, but it might not be for much longer. Ladies and gentlemen, this is potentially the last map of the day.
Potentially the last map, potentially the map that Los make their grand finals, where Cameraman will get revenge on his team, Atlanta. Are you ready? Border, a map that FaZe left up, that Los picked, and now on a hot streak with the wind in their sails. But more importantly, we're after a map where Loban and Maya recreated some of the countless successes they've had this tournament. That is the map that FaZe have to face them on. That is ridiculous to think about.
Oh, absolutely. Especially with the fact that this map only has 5 plays at this tournament. We have barely seen this thing for the entire breadth of Atlanta. And honestly, I think there's a very good reason why. This map doesn't really rely too much on strategy. It is there, but it mostly relies on gunfights, that mechanical ability, as well as being able to play off your teammates for those picks. It feels like a down-home FPS when you come to Border, and that's why Los feels so comfortable on this map. The ban phase is done. Both of these teams knowing exactly what they want to get rid of. It's going to be Buck, especially for the offensive side. That's going to be very, very interesting. I like that ban a lot. It kind of falls into the same realm that we see on Cafe, right? There's a lot of verticality. Same thing can be said about this map. If you're playing something like Armory or something along those lines, Buck can exploit that bottom floor fully and make it very difficult to play a lot of these defensive standpoints that you're so very used to seeing. But as for the rest of the ban phase, we're going to have Ying out as well as Mira and a little Fenrir action. Really like that Fenrir ban too, Carter, as this map is very short and condensed, and Fenrir makes it so very difficult to try and take those fights inside of those enclosed environments.
But an important defensive operator, well, technically 2 important defensive operators have been left up. The Valkyrie, of course, you still have those black eye cameras available to the defense, Solus as well. But the most important operator for me that has been left up is that Azami, because on Border, she can completely change how you play the map. She's often a great addition on maps like Clubhouse, Garage, for example, or on Oregon Basement. But when you leave the Azami up on Border, CCTV becomes infinitely more difficult to take. You can basically stick the Azami by herself in CCTV and let her recreate the entire architecture, the entire flow of the room. And who have they given those Kiba barriers to? Loben. The player nobody wants to peak this tournament. They have said, here's Azami, have fun. You can do whatever you want in CCTV so long as you make it hell for FaZe Clan to clear.
Yeah, that's exactly what that operator provides there. It used to be, folks, that we'd play something like a Frost with a deployable shield in there. You set it on the horseshoe desk, and you just try and play out your life. But with Loben, specifically on this operator, as Carter was just touching on, it becomes so much more difficult just because of the amount of utility that you have to clear. What a little cheeky angle here from Loben. If he gets something out of this, I will definitely be stealing this one for my own arsenal. But KDS instead will be able to move in graciously around that and get those track stingers down towards the bottom of metal.
It'll cut off dashes. Egress from this main door, spots him, and somehow it's actually the second attempt at that gunfight for KDS to get that kill. Dashed in the wrong spot at the wrong time. Caught on the opposite side of those track stingers. KDS feeling a bit more secure on this entry down through the bottom floor now. Zyra also cutting down Maya. If we were worried about FaZe Clan not winning these fights, round 1 has proven to be the best they've looked so far throughout both of these maps. Especially for Cyber. Only 1 kill on their attacking half on Cafe, but here he's already doubled it. And is it looking to continue for more? The nade from below by KDS does not work. And Loben, surprisingly, despite the aggressive position he's been holding, one of the only 2 defenders left alive.
No place really to go from here either. Dots. Critical miss there, one they're really going to want back. But this round so far has been all FaZe all the time. A fantastic setup and a flawless round for them as they quickly dispatch the entirety of Los. Able to get the gridlock in very quickly, get those track stingers down low, making Dash's job a heck of a lot harder. He actually gets caught up in those trying to escape. That's what slowed him down on that exit, allowing Gridlock to get that kill. And then FaZe Clan is immediately capable of taking control of that top floor, start working things from the east stairwell, as well as keeping things active around CCTV. Makes it really difficult for Los to find a safe space. You especially see this in Cameraman's movement, right? He tries to back off, but they already have that player set up, Mark and ready over on the east stairs to collapse upon them and not allow those rotations.
One thing for FaZe that they might look to. That's something that most excellent. Just ridiculous entries from Cyber. But speaking of, one thing that FaZe can look forward to is they got the opening pick a few times on their attacking side, and then it was huge retakes or clutches from Los to win the round. If FaZe can get the opening pick on Border, this map is often far more susceptible to the trend of if you get the opening pick, you win the round, because you have to defend so much of the map. You have to defend CCTV, you have to defend archives, especially on Teller's archives right now, or excuse me, Office. up above on the second floor, you need to defend so much of the map no matter what bomb site you're holding. So if the attack gets an opening pick, that's usually a segment of the map either that's now much easier to clear or officially in the control of the attack, and Border can often snowball from there. So whereas on Cafe, Los could often fall back on the setup to get something, here that's not as viable a strategy.
And most definitely, Border is currently our least played map, as we touched upon. This will be the 6th play here at this tournament. Folks, it has a 41% defensive win rate. It is the worst in the pool by far. And speaking of the bomb sites, when it comes to the main 3, we won't even talk about Supply Customs because it's only got 2 plays on it. But the other 3, specifically this one here, Teller's Bathroom, is the most defendable site out of the others at 44%.
Part of it might be because if you can just hold on to that directly upstairs position for a long time, or can retain control of Passport in the late round, you can often stop the attack from moving into the bomb site entirely. Those are 2 of the more defensible positions on the map, or at least in the case of Customs, one that the attack often forgets to clear. Early utility usage from FaZe Clan, utilizing these Rotero drones to open up holes in the wall or destroy castle barricades. But if you were worried that FaZe Clan might overlook Customs and let someone lurk there late in the round, they are, at least right now, very focused on clearing utility on that part of the map, instead letting Cyber lurk around upstairs.
Honestly, FaZe's pacing on their offenses works perfectly into a map like this because there's not a lot to accomplish on Border. It is a lot of patience plays and just seeing if the defense can potentially overplay their hand, gifting you over a kill or practically some map space that you didn't have just yet. For FaZe, worked handily in that first round as they were able to garner a flawless one. KDS now with solid positioning around Customs. He'll miss his mark, but that doesn't mean that Cyber will. He'll take down Maya. Another big moment for Souls here as they've created the kill box on this bottom floor. These Roteros and everything else making these harsh angles that Los cannot deal with. They don't even know the handy's on the top floor. Is it going to be a back-to-back flawless, folks? It is! As FaZe have woken up. No longer frauds on this offensive side.
So FaZe came to play. As 2 back-to-back flawlesses is as quite literally dominant a start as you could get. Cyber especially, 2 opening picks in a row, completely taking control of at least one part of the map every single time. In round 1, he entirely opened up East Stairs and then made it a lot easier to take CCTV control. And this time, open up CCTV entirely.
Yeah, the key thing here for Los, folks, is the fact that they're allowing FaZe to get a lot of this setup done, but it's also really, really difficult to try and battle back against the way that they're accomplishing this. Exactly how do you prepare for 4 Flores drones to just roll through and start opening up angles that weren't necessarily going to be something that you expected FaZe to try and go for? You're looking for them to try and move some bodies into place, but instead they're using utility to accomplish a lot of this, and then using those bodies and those angles as a secondary thing later on into the round. It's working very swimmingly for them right now because Los aren't able to strike true in this opening minute and a half like they love to do on Cafe.
5 seconds left before insertion.
No, Los' strong point is not meeting any target on FaZe the way they want to. FaZe seem to be running circles around them at this point, at least through these first 2 rounds. We'll move to another bomb site. Teller's Archives, Armory. No, back to the Armory, actually. Excuse me. So we will repeat from Los, but we do have some similar setups. Lobin still on a zombie inside a CCTV. We have the addition of the Valkyrie this time, so that will be intel going the way of Los. However, FaZe Clan will see that a zombie in CCTV, likely see the similarities at board round 1, and know that most of this attack doesn't necessarily need to change so long as they are wary of the potential intel.
Solid standpoint here for Los to stand on, but we saw how it went last time. They went back to the same well as they did in the first round. It's going to be an Armory defense here. KDS in the exact same position with the exact same setup around metal stairs. This time around, though, he's been vetted by the Valkyrie camera. Frag grenade out, and this should be called. Fortunately enough, nobody will die here, as there were plenty of bodies in the area, just nobody home when it came to that nade. Lobin's actually going to find him on the yellow mark with the deagle. A couple shots will actually pop into him, but it's actually going to be Maya as well as Cameraman that go down here. And once again, FaZe able to play this round out the way that we saw them trying to do things over on Cafe. Set up that kill box around the top floor, get somebody actively working the flooring with frag grenades down low. These players have to try and flush things out, have to try and take these gunfights, and FaZe are striking true.
Dash looks to retake. He's got intel on that East Stairs player. Cyber, the demon, cut down. Now Los will retreat. They've got one of their picks, but Loban is alone on an island inside of CCTV, and the rest of FaZe are just storming on into Armory. Dots doesn't even know. Dash shuts down KDS. So focused on this East Stairs player, takes him down, but again, FaZe have the bomb site. They took the entirety of Armory while Los were so focused on Archives. Vitakin can get this plant. That's not a question. Souls just has to cover, has to dodge this C4 and make sure Loban can't retake. Bomb goes down successfully. C4 still in Dash's pocket. They'll have to take this gunfight if they want to make it work. Dash now down, nobody to double up on Souls. Loban, the only one left. He has that 1v2 to think about, but he only gets one. 3-0 for FaZe Clan. Not a flawless, but an excellent rotation. FaZe looking indomitable on border.
Yeah, these offenses looking a heck of a lot better. Los are going to call the timeout immediately here. Really good idea from them, especially given the circumstances. Although border a terrible defensive side map, you still need some rounds over here. And not only that, but FaZe have looked dominant in absolutely everything that they're doing. My personal opinion, it just feels as though Los has given up the goods a little bit in certain situations. They're going for a couple of big swings, trying to find those big kills like they did on Cafe. But FaZe are more than ready for it this time around, and it's working swimmingly for them. Cyber especially, a completely different beast than he was on Cafe, not really finding his mark over there, but 5-1 so far through 3 rounds on border.
That's ultimately the difference maker for me. 3-0 on entry as well for Cyber throughout these first 3 rounds. FaZe basically put him in a position to say, all right, we might give you some intel, but basically we're just going to put you into a position and you should be getting a kill. Just hang out, play some of these windows. Before, it was the CC window. That time, it was the courtyard balcony window. Just waiting for somebody from Los to move through the map and then get a kill, and then that's when the FaZe attack starts. Even think back to round 2, where it was so quiet for FaZe, and then Cyber gets that pick, and all of a sudden, that's when it felt the round actually started. FaZe are just waiting for Los to slip up. Maybe not even swing, but just rotate in front of the wrong position, and once somebody gets that pick, usually Cyber so far, that is when FaZe say, all right, let's go.
Absolutely. That's the beauty out of Cyber, too, especially that first round we saw where he was able to collapse in behind CCTV. Those are the moments that you're looking for FaZe, where they get a little bit of an inch of that rope, take a mile.
5 seconds left.
To see if they can do so with round 4 after Los's timeout. And I love the strategy change here from Los. A lot of traps coming out to play. This is something that is a hallmark of border. A lot of times when teams start to struggle, when the offense starts to just be overwhelming, things like traps, things like EDDs as well can really give you a big problem. Losing HP or making it where you can't sprint with the likes of the Goo Mine.
Can, but EDDs are powerful in really 2 positions. One in which you place them on spots that people don't normally know about. And I mean, one on border is a big one. I mean, you have that double door halfway down the 90 hallway. I forget there's even a door there half the time.
I was literally talking to Pengu about that a couple of days ago. It was one of my favorite spots to put EDDs in all of Rainbow Six, and I completely agree with you.
But then the other EDD position where they're powerful is the late round, where the attacking team forgets, then they walk into them. But that implies that you need to start stalling time. The big problem for Los is they haven't been winning these fights. But now, finally in round 4, an opening pick goes their way. But KDS quickly recovers. Maybe on the second, no, he backs off. Maya instead is the one that gets the kill. Where Los have been struggling in this early round, now they actually have a lead for the first time in this game.
And this is what we expected more out of Los. You can see these key positionings around the map, making things very difficult for FaZe to play the entry game. Vidaking's gonna walk into one of these Goo Mines. He's been read out now. And Los, they've kind of fallen back on this top floor, making life a little bit easier for them, keeping this man advantage well within their right. They've already accomplished what they needed to up against FaZe. Now they just have to try and rest for the rest of the round, see what FaZe's answer is going to be, and then strike while the iron's hot.
For this recovery as well, it's extremely difficult for FaZe. They're down to 1 drone. 1 singular bit of intel gathering they have available to them, and it's in none of the players' pockets that are still alive. It is simply a flank drone, and maybe not even a useful one. So Maya, sitting in that position on the opposite side of Beepers, he's going to go unread. Dots, his position is only now known because he gave it away, but not for Vitaking, who goes in for the counter swing. FaZe are at least trading things out, but while they were on the back foot, now Handy cuts down Maya. They have control of the top floor, and they finally equalize the man count, whereas Los have been one step ahead the entirety of round 4. More importantly as well, 40 seconds remaining, and Handy can begin opening up this top floor, finding angles on these defenders down below, but everyone from Los is backed out of the bomb site. They're looking to play the retake. They're waiting for FaZe Clan to drop.
There's no drones for FaZe to work with either. Both of these players, 0 drones in the pocket, only 1 active as well, and we have no idea where the heck that even is. They know that it's coming through now. He has to get off the case, but does he know that Dash has this back door open? He doesn't cook the frag, and Los with a beautiful round. The pacing is exactly what we expected out of them when we got to border. It isn't what we got initially. A little overcompensation in some moments, but that time around, the power positions around that top floor, especially gifting them over exactly what they needed to take round 4.
We finally see the read from Los that we needed to see. FaZe often like to entry on that east side, but more importantly, Los has identified where they wanted to entry. It's been the east side a few times, it's been maybe CC another time, but overall, FaZe like that part of the map. So, Los decide, okay, we still need to play aggressive. Border's not a site where you can just anchor the bomb site and play it like cafes, sit behind that utility. You need to get aggressive. What we're not doing is playing off each other. We're not coordinating plays. It's a lot of solo efforts, and then we're getting cut off. Now you have the Solus sprint up east stairs, get the kill, and even though they fall, there's someone all the way in CCTV to trade out Dash once he goes down. That's Maya with this kill right here. That's what Los have been lacking. They've been lacking the obviously successful initiative, but more importantly, when they got that advantage, there were plenty of players in positions to make sure they kept it.
On a map like Border, Carter, you have to play actively off of the information that is coming to your team, especially from the defensive side. I mean, we always talk about how big it is to be able to get a kill on any map. I mean, all of these operators and their utility is worth its weight in gold, but it's practically platinum when it comes to Border, because having guns alive on this map is of the utmost importance. When you have a man advantage on Border, I mean, it feels like you're a juggernaut. Nobody can stop you. You can just trade things out, and 9 times out of 10, you're winning the round. Los looking so solid right now, is they're actually going to head downstairs here to a site that we don't see often, folks. This is the one that I didn't refer to, Carter, because we only had 2 rounds played on it, but it has a 50% win rate.
So we don't know who's going to win?
Exactly. We actually have no idea.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Oh, he got it, though. He got it off. Vita King still has another one. We have no EMPs here. They're going to have to nade over for this, and I do believe that they've got it. There's going to be nobody to try and step up and bandit trick that, because honestly, why would you? That's there's asking to die in a moment like that if you really don't know what the offense has brought fully. So Cameraman's just going to lock things up on the farther side and make sure that Passport isn't a play for FaZe down the line.
He's got to be worried about that breach for the remainder of the round. Might need to start worrying about the custom side as well. Cyber going for that nade from below. Oh, just moves a little too far past Lobin. He's holding this vertical angle like his life depends on it, making sure Cyber can't walk in through that doorway. But the jail breach opens so early on, that would be a very nice addition to FaZe Clan's attack. If they can get both sides of this bomb site secured before they push in, that's what they want. But Lobin is stopping it, so Souls is slowly creeping into a position to take a gunfight with him. But he's taken down. Lobin removes him from the board, and he retains a key bit of map control, but he did not shut down that breach.
And this is going to be the biggest issue for them, is this positioning here from Lobin. He needs to stay alive, though. As long as he's alive, FaZe has to deal with him here because of his positioning over the top of Passport. He can gatekeep this door. He can make sure these breaches don't work out for them, but now, Los, they're flying too close to the sun. Lobin and Dots both go down. FaZe find what they've wanted this entire round, and now they can start trying to focus on the actual site.
But the big bonus Los have had in these past 2 rounds, round 4 and 5, they've dismantled FaZe's drone economy. 1 drone last time, 2 now, it might not matter. But Vita King comes off the diffuser to cut down Cameraman, but Maya's still up above. That's Case now dropped on the floor. Somebody's got to pick it back up, or FaZe might be forced to win this round off gunfights. Dash, the only one down below, actually around the bomb site, though. And FaZe are so worried about the Solus up above, they sent Cyber upstairs
20 seconds.
on cleanup duty. Time running low, Cadius has the intel, and he doesn't land it. Los with the recovery might just end up evening this half.
And if you're a Los fan, folks, you have to be praising Maya right now. Without that positioning being reclaimed on the top floor, that is a FaZe round through and through. but instead he shuts it down. He hits a critical shot onto the man with the case. And it's cold case inside of sight. No case, no face. Especially here for Los, as they've been able to pick up 2 key rounds here on this defensive end. It's looking so dastardly from them past the timeout. If they can get this 3rd round, FaZe are most definitely in hot water.
Opening picks continuing to be a problem for FaZe in the second half of their attacking side. They got it 3 rounds in a row, but both rounds Los acquired it. Particularly with disengagement from Lobin, they have not been able to recover, even though they got that 4v3 from some solid heads-up plays. With how much time was wasted by Lobin on that top floor around the break position, FaZe were so low that once they started pushing down, investing all of their resources and getting a bomb down through the customs wall, Maya was able to retake because everyone was focused on making sure nobody could flank up 90 or flank up down the middle hallway down below. So Maya's able to retake into CCTV and get that kill. If Los can find another opening pick, if they can get it for the 3rd round in a row, a 3-3 is not out of the question.
Oh man, I'm starting to get nervous, Lynx. FaZe Clan have already lost their own map pick to Los. Los now looking to take some very critical rounds on the hardest side of any map in our competitive pool. They get 3 rounds, they've more than beat the odds. They've set a precedent for how to handle things here on border. FaZe Clan looking to sweep this under the rug. They need this 4-2 so badly. They want to extend this to Consulate. It starts here. It's going to be going through their natural progressions over here on this east side. KDS will be the spearhead here on Finca. But a solid read as to these rotations, but just looking for the aggressive look that Los sometimes gives at these later moments in time. Drone rolling through here. And also hop out that radio window too. We see that one every once in a while. And it's going to be the Legion, I do believe, of Maya over lying in wait. And Lobin's actually going to be the first one to go down to KDS as he will try and swing through. But again, FaZe finding this good patience play, getting through this map and good timing. Dash with a big moment there. KDS will be able to spring out the window, or rather door, and keep himself alive going later on into the round.
Maya now forced to do a lot of work on this doorway, but one cut down on the breach, not another though. A 3K for KDS. He single-handedly cleared out all of Los's extended positions. Cameraman finds one before he's forced to rotate down below. He's got this C4 to deny the plant from the first floor. That might just be what ends up winning this round. One almost moves into position, but he waits. Doesn't blow it yet, and when he does, he finds no kill. Finds no purchase on a FaZe Clan attacker. So back up metal he goes to try this again. Spotted, downs KDS through the wall. Now he backs off. KDS nades himself, but he was already downed. Instead, it's Cyber who cameraman starts focusing on. Half his health gone, but they know the mute's position. They know he's there, and Souls is able to win that fight. 4-2 half acquired for FaZe, and that half, if you got the opening pick, you won the round.
As you'd expect out of border, let's be honest. When it comes to gunfights, as we said, this map provides the best environment for them. Also provides the best environment to try and abuse your man advantage just by proxy. And well, both of these teams striking true in their own moments. Los getting the bare minimum, I would say, here on border. And it was one defensive round. Probably say the same thing, just don't want to be staring down the barrel of 6 of those dang things. So FaZe Clan now will be shifting gears as they'll be going on over to the defensive side. Do you guys think we're seeing a map 3? I wasn't convinced. I really wasn't. I feel like we still got a majority Los crowd here, but FaZe seems to be winning them back just a little bit after that offensive side.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Not much though. You can see what happened. He had the nade cooked. Wait. There it is. But it happens. You got down by Cameron through the wall. Not much you can do. And more importantly, FaZe get the 4-2 half they were looking for. Now they look to their defenses to box Los out of map 2, their own pick, and send us to Consulate, as many of you would like. Right now, how will Los perform? You see Dots, who playing a lot of different operators yesterday, but usually focusing on the off pick, specifically Shields, now finds himself on Monty. Sometimes you can push the armory wall, sometimes you can push east. In this case, it appears the latter is what Dots is aiming for.
Monty can definitely be a skeleton key when it comes to the map of Border. You can walk in practically anywhere, and nobody can really do anything about it unless they have some key explosives abound to try and assist with that. Souls, not even some impacts, trying to get some verticality. They'll try and shoot through instead. A good idea, but they'll just ting against Monty's huge shield. ADS gonna be on the dock. Something that we don't see too often, but a fantastic operator, especially on a map like this when it comes down to gunfights and trying to keep yourself healthy. He's the best in the biz. Dots, Nitro Cell out towards him, and all it's going to do is get rid of one of the Kiba barriers over here. Take a little bit off of Dots, but that's going to lead into a kill here from Loban. Dash working down low. Souls has been discovered. This Monty going to continue to work things around, but Dots, he plays it out perfectly on the Monty, folks. What a way to use that shield against your opponent.
And Los have taken down the East Stairs pressure and one player playing inside of Archive. There's only one player remaining from FaZe who is actively sitting in this spot. It's KDS, one of the most unkillable operators, and when you put him in a death spot, Doc, who can stim himself up countless times, well, 3 technically, to make sure that that position is for the defense. He does have Cyber for support now, looking to retake East Stairs, but that's a gunfight Maya needed to win, and one that is keeping Los in the game.
Are they aware? Oh no. KDS has been found, but will he be killed? Maya with the scythe. He'll slice KDS up. It's down to Handy now. He can't strike, he can't kill, and it's Loban instead. And Los, just like FaZe in the first round, it's gonna be a flawless.
It was back-to-back for FaZe as well. 2 flawlesses in a row. And if Los are able to repeat that, we'll be all tied up 4-4. Everyone excited for Loban to make it back into the game. Excited for Los to make it back in the game. You guys are killing it with this sign game. I gotta say, you are some next-level haters.
They're on top of it today.
I've not seen this before.
I have not seen this level of hating, but I can definitely tell you, I'm here for it. I love it, personally. That's talk your talk, North America. I mean, what else are we gonna do? We're not in the tournament anymore.
Hey, boo him now.
Boo. Yeah, you can boo me. It's okay. It's all right. I probably deserve that one. It's okay.
That doesn't feel good, does it? Doesn't feel good, does it?
It feels like I earned it, and that's its own special reward, you know?
All right.
Maybe I'm just a masochist. You ever think about that? Well, if you guys have never pissed off a few Americans before, this is usually how it ends up.
Yeah. No dog in the fight. We just want to be a part of it.
Yeah, we just want to be a part of it. We just want to be a part of the fun. Isn't that right, folks? Is Los gonna win this game? I love each and every single one of you. This crowd has been fantastic this entire event. Give yourself a round of applause. All right, ladies and gents, let's get into round 8. FaZe Clan, they're staring down the barrel of a pissed off Los. They want to take it here in 2-0 fashion. This is their map choice, and that first round looked fantastic. An old angle, as Carter was wincing at, here all the way out from spawn, one that I have seen quite a few things happen over the years, most notably all the way back in the day for the fans back in SI 2019. Waka made a hell of a moment here playing Valkyrie. KDS going to be in a very similar circumstance.
Very similar, but not getting as aggressive. He'll instead layer up some magnets inside of CC. No Azami on the board that we saw Loban play in this position. Instead, it's Cyber on Castle and KDS and the Wamai on opposite sides of CC. But one of those fell very early on by the man of the hour himself. Maya then storms on in to take control, backs off a little bit. Hits the brakes as KDS has backed out of CC. That's an important piece of map control acquired for Los. You don't want to lose it. Now start focusing on the armory position as Maya opens the wall and begins to acquire intel.
Keep it going, folks. This is our last series of the day. You do not need a voice to talk to your friends tonight. You use those lungs to their fullest capacity. Maya, he'll take down KDS. FaZe Clan, their back is against the wall, and they're staring down Los, trying to get this back across the line. It'll be Vita King first to take down Dash. What a kill from him, and one that was desperately needed. They need to slow up Los. They're feeling too damn good over here.
That was the one position, the singular spot that at this point in the round, Los had not cleared. The one guy that might have swung things the way of FaZe, and while Vita King's gone, Handy's used his C4 to slowly claw it back. Maya, who opened up the armory position, now cut down. But Los have the verticality, they have control of the bathroom hatch. They can go for a plan if they want, and as they're softening up souls, they are inching ever so closer. They've downed him on the retake as well. They've spotted the aggression. There's only Handy in the bomb site now. Tries to get aggressive, spots him, takes the entire spray and almost all his HP, but he's just barely alive. Another goes his way, so does his ammo as well. He's trapped behind the bomb. They've got him isolated. They've got him shut down. 2 rounds in a row for Los. FaZe Clan's lead is gone.
And it's getting rowdy here in Atlanta. It's 4-4 now. Los on the favorable side. FaZe have not been able to hold a candle to these offenses. They've gotten a couple crumbles of the cookie, but not too much past that. It's gonna be a FaZe Clan timeout as they have to figure out how the heck to get some defenses on their side of this line.
Some heckling going on during the timeout. Definitely a big, big boost for Los is getting those opening picks, able to find success in that early round.
Oh, overrated. Overrated.
Yeah, that's
only NA would talk this much trash when we're completely out of the tournament.
I mean, what else? Again, it's like you said.
Just like me for real, let me tell you.
We don't have a champion anymore. We just want to hate. We just want a good game, but more importantly, we want someone to root against, not even necessarily to root for. But I know we saw quite a few passionate Loban fans in the crowd yesterday. And now that Los have started fighting their way back, they have put themselves back in this series and back in the driver's seat as FaZe take their tactical timeout, try to discuss a way in which they can progress on this half. And one immediate change, one immediate adjustment, Cyber on that Azami. We didn't see him last round, but it was a different bomb site. But we saw what Loban could and also couldn't do when a lot of attention was put on him. But Cyber having a good game so far. He's quieted off a bit. FaZe Clan are investing resources in him again to hold down that CC position. At least I assume.
Absolutely. FaZe are really hoping that this timeout has put Los on ice, cooled them down a little bit, allowed FaZe to try and reconcile with the last 2 rounds that they just witnessed, and figure out a game plan to try and take it to Los. The biggest issue that they've had is that Los has been able to find these key opening moments, whether it be through pressure from Monty or what have you. It's all been going the way of Los in these opening minute and a half. But for FaZe Clan, they've at least gotten a few key moments for themselves that they could be able to work off of. We'll see if they can try and find those once again here in round 9. Loban is going to entry from downstairs. Currently has server control and quite a few frag grenades that he can use to try and get a kill here on a moment's notice.
And that's why KDS is playing on this hatch and only on this hatch. He does not want to die to a nade below, as it's not the Azami holding down CC, but the Azami's very close by. KDS playing farther back in CC on that hatch while Cyber supporting from 90. So if Loban wants to find a home for these nades, it's got to be based on armory intels. There's no one actually on the roaming positions that are really available at the moment. Cameraman sending in some Bs to force rotations out from the defense.
Nice.
And we see the office doorway broken down. Dots has that diffuser, and as he backs out, he knew this was going to happen. He put that shield down there in the first place, and he's baited the C4 exactly as he wanted. The only bit of explosive utility that can stop him now is one impact grenade from Souls. Once Los figure that out, and now that it's been tossed, now that they have an opening pick, Dot starts moving on in. We've got a conga line trying to hit the retake, and they're all, not lining up for Loban. Instead, 2 go Souls' way. The retake stopped or successful from FaZe Clan. Dots, who seem to be the tip of the spear from Los, now the only one left. Nobody from FaZe Clan peeking anymore as he's trapped inside of Office.
So very well done from FaZe. A massive distraction measure is put into this round by Los. It's a setup for an Archives plant over on the concrete side. This is usually a hallmark of OSA, but when the rest of your team can't build up around you, it starts to become extremely problematic. And Dots on very low HP, probably not long for this world as Cyber continues to pelt the wall. A hard angle as FaZe does their best impression of a rug. Souls will take down Dots, and FaZe will claim the lead yet again.
All the props to Souls on that position. Once the explosives faltered. Yeah, I had to read it real quick. I cannot read and speak at the same time. So you threw that up in front of me, I got distracted. Again?
They love it. They love it. We love you. You guys better keep this noise going this entire time. I was not lying when I said this is the last matchup of the day. You better be using that full lung capacity.
I don't listen. I don't be that dude, but like, why no Dark Zero chance? That's all I would ask.
True. That's true. I mean, but to be fair, where was Dark Zero yesterday?
Oh.
Canadian might not like that one. I'm sure I'm getting a DM.
He's a good sport.
He's a very good sport.
As our FaZe Clan in this game is after the tactical timeout, win their first defense. The explosives went awry, but Souls getting both of those kills on the players, covering Dots, and Loban trying to hit the backstab. Single-handedly brought FaZe back into contention of that round and ultimately pushed them over the line. So with FaZe retaking their lead, they'll try to hold the top floors. We're back to Teller's Archives. Hold the upstairs position. Try to stop this entry from Los that so far has been very successful.
Yes, it has. That last round, kind of a blip in what has been going on for Los so far. It was really just up to FaZe, keeping an open mind, right? There's a lot going on over in Archives, Carter, and it's a lot, you know, it's very easy to get sucked into a play like that, especially with Dots constantly flirting with putting that case down. You really never know what you can do, especially, you know, you're out of nitro cells, you're out of impacts. But where else can the play potentially be coming from? They check metal, they check these other windows, and they find every Los member besides a man trying to mess around with the case. And that's what works out so very well for FaZe in that regard. So now for FaZe, they're looking to try and build off the back of that, looking to do the same as what Los did on their map pick and steal it away from them.
Certainly stolen some utility as Magnets absorb a smoke grenade. Hammerman with a DMR instead of the para. Looking to find someone in CCTV, but FaZe Clan not defending that position. They are pulled back inside of Armory and Office. Loban is snuck in, but Agumon gives away his position. He hits it just in time, though. KDS shot in the back, and Loban limps his way out of Office, but victorious.
And just to touch on this for a second, he did it with the F2. We don't even see that gun anymore. Usually it's a 417 nowadays, but get a little flash of the F2, a fan favorite for years on Twitch. And Loban, he's got two now. It's feeling like 2019, baby.
Loban thinks he can channel it, but so does Biden King. He cannot be stopped. One clip at a time. He cuts FaZe Clan down. Souls has intel on that. Zofia. But he's too scared, he's shaken, he's shook as he moves back into the bomb site. Los have taken control of that top floor and have forced the remaining FaZe Clan defenders in a very constricted position, stuck down on that middle floor. Henny's at least out of the new dimension. He can bolster it from vent, but Souls is alone on the site itself. Loban goes for the peek. 3 kills his way. He just spots the 4th, but that F2 recoil gives and takes away. But not in the case of Dash. Loban might fall, but Los are still standing. We are back to even. 5-5.
Oh!
That takes the cake.
There it is right there. So quick with the Photoshop nowadays, man. People are on top of their game when it comes to the memes. And I can definitely tell you this, though. This matchup here on Border is definitely no joke. 5-5 in between these two. FaZe with some solid considerations on their defensive side. But how do you stop a madman with the F2? Ubisoft can't even nerf this guy, folks. That recoil is insane. And he kills 4 people? 4 people? I mean, come on. That's truly incredible. He is going to put it away for a moment. Looking towards the Finka now in the operator lineup. But just look at these replays, folks. Lobin, time and time again, proving why he's the highest rated player at this tournament.
And if he makes it to Grand Finals, very likely could be in contention for that MVP should they win. But that is should they win the Grand Finals. And that is should they win this game, this map against FaZe Clan. They have brought it back on these attacks. They have channeled the success FaZe had by winning that opening pick and then converting it into a successful round. But more qualitatively in acquiring the map control they need to then move on to the bomb site in a timely manner. FaZe Clan roaming again. Neither of these teams are diverting too far from what you would expect from Border. Some of the individual operators might change, but the positions they're holding are all relatively the same. And on that same note, Los will start on the east side yet again. Try to find the first contestant on Will You Be the opening pick from FaZe Clan.
Well, let's spin the wheel, Carter. See what we get. Andy doing his damnedest to try and meet his twin brother in the finals.
Reloading!
They have to take Border and Consulate in order to do so. Nade awaits him, so does the rest of W7M. What a story that would be. We have to get there first. Have to find the bridge too. It's been very hard fought. Neck and neck, these two squads. Maya with a great find here on that sensor. He'll get the Valkyrie camera as well as somebody that was lying in wait over an office, and Dots off that information. He's immediately going to eviscerate Souls. They find the opening kill they so desperately needed, but Handy, he fires back with the MPX.
A trade FaZe Clan needed to retain control of Armory, as CCTV and Office very likely would have gone the way of Los had you not had that. But now, KDS can stay alive on that top floor, and Los need to do a little bit more work to move forward. Nice nade from Lobin. We're starting to open it up. Now it is just KDS. His teammate taken down. Dot somehow gets away with that. Default cam on him, but that defender still misses the gunfight.
Handy, the lone soul on this top floor now. So much to do, so much to accomplish, but it's in your hands, my friend. There's 3 targets here. He's got 1. Can he get the second? He cannot. It's shut down. It's down to KDS and Cyber. There's no longer a body on this top floor for FaZe. They have to try and fend them off the bomb site. It's KDS and Cyber to do so. Lobin, Dots, and Maya have great positioning around the metal stairs to be able to try and play into this one.
They've got plenty of drones too. 45 seconds to reset. 4 drones they can actively use to find these remaining defenders. Match point. Just 2 bodies and 24 seconds separates it if Los can just keep a clean execute, not leave any gaps. KDS found, but do they know about Cyber? They know about KDS. Lobin's watching, he knows now! A quick 2-piece! The underdogs might just have their day. 1 round away from a date with W7M.
And is this it for FaZe Clan? Their backs against the wall. Handy doing his damnedest to try and fight for FaZe, to try and meet his brother in the finals. But Cameraman and Los, they're on a revenge tour, looking to show Brazil just what they're capable of. Lobin and Maya have been 2 of the phenoms of this entire tournament, and they're showing it yet again here, just why we keep saying their names. Dots with that great opener, but Lobin and the rest of the gang to slam the door shut on FaZe and take the lead on their map choice.
13-9. He's making the recovery. We have been denied an underdog victory. We have been denied a champion to support.
Attackers' objective is to
And
locate a bomb
Los,
and defuse it.
from the bottom of Brazil to the LCQ to Atlanta, might just send home one of the favorites. They can win this one final attack.
All right, folks. One final gauge before we get too deep into this. Is FaZe taking us to overtime? Oh.
So by my math, does that mean you think Los is winning it?
I'll take those odds. Take those odds any day of the week.
Well, Los certainly will. We'll see if they can hear you, Atlanta. Because FaZe certainly have. On the back foot now, they do not want to find an early engagement with any of these Los players. Dash below will likely have to use his grenades to take down one of them. As FaZe are in that position where you're second-guessing yourself, wondering whether or not the next gunfight might be your last, and whether it's better just to play patiently. Drones being shot, but Los had plenty in the late round last time. FaZe need to do some more damage there to stop Lobin from getting the intel to get those picks.
Little entranced in the chance there for a split second, but Dots, he's found the potential first mark here for Los. It's a high target environment. Quite a few bodies around this space. One in the central hallway. Maya finds Cyber. Andy Maya! A double kill for him. Los, it's in your hands. 3 bodies remain. They stand in your way of the grand finals here in Atlanta. You still have Monty up. You still have so many cameras and time. This is the moment here for Los.
1 more minute. Dots moves into archives. They have cleared open the right half, the eastern portion closest to the bomb site. But we saw Souls recover it last time, and Dash does him in. KDS spots his doom, staring him in the face. The man with the diffuser unshields to take the fight. Candy gone. It's all on KDS. Champions rise and fall, but finally, sacrifice after sacrifice, we have an underdog in the finals. Los play W7M for the Atlanta Major Trophy.
And what a story for Los here, folks. An incredible showcasing on both of these maps of their abilities, their talent, but not only that, their ability to come together as a squad. Remember, at the beginning of the Atlanta Major, this team did not look like this. I mean, for God's sakes, we had cameraman roaming clear across the map away from his team. They weren't doing anything that we would consider to be the absolute best of the best. But yet, they've came together, they've worked it out through the Swiss, to main, through semis, onto the grand finals, Carter. You could not design a better story for cameraman as he goes off to face some of Brazilian's finest in W7M.
They meet their greatest test tomorrow. They have been a work in progress, or even a win over the last place team in their group in Brazil seemed impossible at times, all the way back in the group stage. And they have worked and worked. They have toiled every game, just looking 1% better. And now, tomorrow, we have a champion to root for North America. We might not have SSG, we might not have Dark Zero, but the crowd has decided their favorite. I know who they'll be rooting for in
Ladies
Sunday's
and gentlemen,
final.
give it up for Los!
A great story, great play, and it's hard to believe that they've made it this far. Again, just 1 best of 5. 1 best of 5 is what separates cameraman for a second trophy. And while we were all predicting before we saw the seeding, a W7M G2 final, a W7M FaZe final, will instead be Los their opponent. Consolations to FaZe, who played out of their mind through the Swiss and yesterday as well.
So many emotions here. FaZe leaving absolutely everything in the server, trying their damnedest, trying their hardest to work things out. But folks, sometimes it just doesn't go your way. Sometimes there is indeed a bigger fish. And this time around, that bigger fish is Los.
And there's nothing else to say from us, at least. I want to hear from Los. I want to hear from this team who will challenge W7M.
Listen, guys, you can see what this win means right here. Of course, there's still a huge best of 5 series. Lobin, listen, the crowd's been going crazy for you, man. What do you want to say?
I just want to say I love the energy. I love y'all, and I'll make y'all happy tomorrow.
Thank you. This guy has completely flipped the script on this crowd. They were booing him yesterday, and now they're all over him and this roster. Cameraman, what a victory. Where does this rank in all of the wins in your career here?
It's one of the best places to be because we were the underdog since the beginning. We qualified from the LCQ, and since then we just started winning, kept winning, and it's amazing. These guys are amazing. I don't have words to say.
The term underdog, right? Like you said there, it's been used a lot when discussing and talking about your roster. I imagine that was never a thought that came into your own minds, right? Have you ever considered yourselves as underdogs?
Yeah, like when we played the first stage on BR6, we didn't play what we expected to, and we had some hard losses. But since the LCQ, that gave us a boost in our confidence, and we're as confident as we are right now.
That was a wonderful win for lots of different reasons. Was there any part of you that enjoyed it even more, considering it was FaZe Clan?
Yeah, it's a little bit. I have huge respect to the guys and the org too, like the managers as well, the staff. But it has it's a bit better win.
Absolutely. Listen, tomorrow it gets bigger, it gets harder. You've got one of the best teams in the world waiting in the wings in W7M. What do you make of them, and how do you stop them?
I don't know. Just keep playing our game. I think we're in the right way, and just keep doing what we are doing. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for cameraman and Los, your grand finalists. Let's get back to the desk to talk us through everything that went down in our second semi-final here in Atlanta.
Thanks, Ian. They did it against all odds. Los are going to a grand final because FaZe have been phased out of Atlanta. The underdog story for this org specifically, I don't know why it carries so much power, but from Mexico 2021 through a name change, through 2 name changes, in fact.
Yep.
With a completely different roster, with a legend on it who's won a major, now suddenly, not only are they going to a grand final, but somehow they won over a North American crowd while doing it. That's also an accomplishment.
There's something in the air with this team, Laxing. It feels like they just have it in them. Even when they lose the early round, even when they go in as the underdogs, they've got what it takes to grit through, win those late rounds. Lobin, an incredible performance. Game after game after game. You just got to believe in this team after a run they've had.
We literally talked about, do they have anything left in the tank? They have a lot in the tank. I mean, Lobin specifically, that guy deserves MVP no matter what this finish is. Lobin has been phenomenal on this stage.
Well, we do want to keep celebrating the guys that just won, but because we do need to give due diligence to the teams that have been here before, let's talk to KDS from FaZe Clan with Ian on stage.
Listen, this crowd has been a little bit harsh here. Please, can we give KDS a round of applause? Thank you. That's what I like to hear. KDS, you were the favorites coming into this tournament here. What do you think went wrong there? Did Los surprise you at all?
Yeah, Los surprised us a lot because the play style them. So, I don't know, maybe they just play better than us. And so SI, we are work a lot with SI, São Paulo, and see you all there.
Every loss is a learning experience, right? So you can take a lot from this and move forward. Do you think you'll come back even stronger going into Sao Paulo?
Yeah. That's the main objective to the team. So we are working a lot to SI, the biggest tournament on Rainbow Six. So yeah.
All right, KDS, just in case you want to, the camera's right there. Your fans at home in Portuguese, is there anything you'd like to say?
Obrigado aí para todo mundo que torceu aí para FaZe aí. Infelizmente não deu certo, mas no Six Invitational vamos vir forte.
Commiserations, KDS, and commiserations to FaZe Clan. You guys will be back, that's for sure. Back to you, Jacob.
It's never a fun sight seeing a team that fought all the way to the bitter end try and see if they couldn't walk away with a major trophy. Commiserations, obviously, going to FaZe Clan for their loss today. But we already know what happened because the crowd is not going to let us forget exactly what we just saw. But we should dive into exactly why it happened. That's 2 2-0s on the day, and I think a lot of people at least thought FaZe would put on more of a fight.
Well, I mean, I'll say this. FaZe, I said they would bounce back. They were smiling going into this map, and you saw it in the beginning. FaZe was running away with those. They were getting those first picks. They were looking like that dominant FaZe that we were seeing throughout all of this. Why they were the #1 attacking team. They, had 3 or 2 flawless rounds right off the bat? I mean, they were looking super hot, and then they fell short those last 2 rounds, and then immediately flipped the switch for Team 1. I mean, for Los.
Yeah, once upon a time. No, back-to-back rounds flawless for FaZe Clan to start things off. They went 3 for 3 on the round wins to start things. Again, they did look really strong at the very beginning against Los. The thing is, though, Border is a really attacker-sided map. We always talk about that. I think at the very beginning, we saw Los trying to do those rat strategies that worked so well for them on Cafe. The problem is on such a small map, it's just so much more difficult to get into those positions. So they weren't able to start off too strong. But they battled back a couple of great rounds. Cameraman had the big 2K to end things out on Ventilation Workshop. They ran number 5 with some big C4s, trick on the wall on Supply, which was a sick play coming out from them as well. And then again, those attacks from Los, so strong to just nail it on home. They win 5 of their 6 attacking rounds, beating FaZe Clan at the very thing that they are supposed to be the best in the world at.
Yeah, I mean, you look at these stats, this is clearly a team effort. Everyone showed up. Everyone put up a performance to be playing the way that they were, to execute the way that they did. And what surprised me the most on those attack rounds from Los is Loban was just finding openings everywhere and taking 1v1s, 1v2s, 1v3s, and netting every single one of those kills. It was impressive to watch.
The crazy thing is there was a moment where Loban was actually negative in this game, trying to take all those entry engagements, and then he rushes right back in, finishes at 20 and 15 on the series.
Wow. God.
There's very little that wasn't already said in the server about the way that this guy's been performing. And I mean, what? MVP for the whole tournament so far?
No brainer. He has, I mean, just literally, we talked about it going into this game. He's leading in 4 different areas or 3 different areas with being in the top 3, top 4 of the last area in cost. I mean, you got to give it to Loban. He is here to prove a point, and he's proven it. He's showing why he's one of the best players in the world right now.
Yeah, and he did everything for them on that attack. He was crazy with the F2. He was crazy with Finka. He was crazy with the nades. It felt like no matter what, he was there contributing for the team. Those attacks were so impactful from him. He only joined the team in Stage 3 last year. He had only played Tier 2 before this. No other team wanted to pick him up. Team 1 took a chance on him back then. A couple of name changes, obviously. Now they're Los. The roster's been built around him, and he's looking so good with this squad. You just got to believe in this team.
I mean, why not believe in this team? They're an underdog. Look at their story. Look at where they started. Look where they're finishing. Look at where they're at.
Yeah.
SI, Grand Finals, possibly the entire winner of this event. And then again, I mean, I just got to keep saying Loban. I love Loban. Watching his plays, it's truly inspiring to anyone out there. You want to watch that play style. You want to watch how he plays the game. That is someone that you should watch and take notes on.
Do you remember back at SI earlier this year where we were trying to figure out what that Los 1 roster, how far they were going to end up going? They looked like they were going to make a gnarly run through groups. They did. They looked like Maya was suddenly going to turn into a superstar. They came relatively close, and then they dropped off. They didn't go to Copenhagen. We were wondering what's it going to take for them to come back in. Then suddenly in Stage 2, they have to fight in the middle of the stage because of where they placed, and suddenly they find themselves here. That's an upward trajectory that only took a few weeks, dude.
8th place in Brazil, 1st place in Atlanta? Maybe.
Ooh.
Maybe. It's a tough opponent. W7M reigning major champions up next in the grand finals tomorrow in a best of 5. But again, with the momentum, with the crowd, with the F2 and nades of Loban, I don't know.
Loban is lobbing those nades. That's all I'm saying. But, I mean, looking at that bracket, you would have never predicted Los was going to be in the grand finals. I didn't predict Los was going to be in the grand finals.
there's always got to be one team that always completely upsets and shatters everybody's brackets. And yeah, everyone thought W7M probably had a shot even before we had the bracket, and we said, oh, well, G2 and W7M are on the same side. Now, this team has come from basically nowhere. We had one team auto-qualify, and then we had one that had to slog through play-ins. That's a really, really cool balance to find ourselves in for tomorrow.
We'll get to see the two sides of Brazil. W7M, you know, they can be so clean, so together on those entries. They are similar to FaZe in some ways, where when they get on to attack, if they get their plan set up, they can be absolutely perfect with it. But we've seen Los disrupt that already. They will rat around on those defenses. They can get in your face on attack. It's going to be a battle of playstyles, a battle of Brazil to end things out here in Atlanta. Crown one team to be the very first ever two-time major champions. It's going to be a great game.
I mean, it's going to be a slugfest, and I'm looking forward to it the most. I thought that G2 W7M was going to be the hardest game for just that entire series. And to watch Los come in here and play the way that they are, I think W7M might be a little bit nervous going into this next game.
Well, gentlemen, thank you very much for the analysis, especially you, Jesse, for being here all damn day breaking down both semifinals. Thank you very much. Here's what tomorrow looks like. We have a show match to start the day, the new Operation Deep Freeze panel reveal, and then a best-of-5 grand final between W7M and Los. But before we get out of here, we got one more special treat for you for the rest of the evening. We have a very special little overtime show with our main man, Ian Chambers. We'll see you in a second.